Hey everybody, it's Alex here, and on today's episode of the YaBonks Show, I have two very special guests with me today. I have Christian Lisby and Michael Peterson from Lemono. And Lemono, the easiest way I can explain it is it's like Honey, the browser extension, where you get paid out with tokens on the blockchain. So it's like decentralized payments for shopping rewards and with an appreciating token backed by real world revenue streams with a fully doxed team. And they like to say it a little more succinctly. So they are building a central hub for loyalty points and cashback rewards earned from shopping on the blockchain. Their users will gain access to thousands of deals and voucher codes and have all of their rewards paid out in the form of Lemono tokens. So an easy way for me to remember this is it's like the Honey browser extension with way more features that you get paid out with on the blockchain, and you can essentially potentially get rich from shopping, in my opinion, if this all goes well. So do you guys want to introduce yourselves and say hi to the audience? Maybe starting with you, Christian.
Yeah, of course. First of all, thanks so much for having us. I'm Christian, like you said, Christian Lisby. I am the CEO of this project. I will be the operations guy mainly. I was brought on board about 6 months ago. Michael introduced the idea, and it's fully disclosed. It's Michael's idea. I have before. I went to short story. I went to college in the States, even though we're located here in Copenhagen, Denmark. Played American football over there. Was a quarterback. So I spent some time in Kansas, New York, and South Carolina.
Nice.
And then when returning home here to Denmark, I started my professional career at a small fintech company, a loan company that we grew pretty big here in Scandinavia in about a year and a half. And that's actually also where I met Michael because I hired him back then. And then after that, we've been working together on and off for 5 years?
Yeah.
And I've been the last 3 years, I've been a consultant on my own, primarily with digital marketing and helping businesses scale. Yeah.
Very cool. And I looked up your college football career, among other things, and it was super interesting. And you have a pretty distinguished college football career here in the States, like you said, for multiple different teams. And you're built, you're a unit. You're 6'5", 220. Like you're a solid house of a dude. Anyway, you can watch videos of Christian here playing football in his college career, and it's good stuff if you look him up online. All right, that's super interesting. Michael, do you want to give an introduction about yourself now?
Yeah. Hey, Michael. I don't have any football videos. I'm kind of like the visionary guy behind this project and company. I started my professional career within digital marketing a little over a decade ago. Actually started in an internship right in over there, and that houses this classroom. And went on and acquired that company last year, actually. So that's kind of like a full circle fun story. I've been pretty much since 2014. I've been an entrepreneur, different various kind of projects, finding my ways. Learned that I'm not the CEO guy, but I'm the guy that puts the blueprint together and kind of like shows the road and finds the right people to take the operational part. And that's why I'm also a part owner of a kind of like in Denmark numbers. It's quite like a huge conglomerate within the startup scene. But I own a couple of various companies. One in particular, a digital agency, where I kind of like took my knowledge from having advised over like 500 companies in the Scandic region, and extrapolated that into a digital agency where yeah, that was kind of like the start off point for this whole endeavor.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure people caught some of what you said. So first off, you are a wildly successful serial tech entrepreneur that started as an intern in the same building you're in now, and you have had so much success as an entrepreneur that last year you acquired the company that you interned at when you first started your career.
Yeah, so essentially, 12 years ago, I said like this and listened to a teacher, and now I said like this, and I own the place. So that's basically the story.
That is awesome, and as an American who's all about free enterprise and capitalism and entrepreneurship, like that's kind of like the American dream that we have is like one day I would like to own the company that I started at the bottom. I want to start from the bottom and be so successful and work so hard that I end up owning the place someday. And you did that.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, and you can look all this stuff up. These guys are fully doxed out here. They got a fascinating background. So it's really awesome to have a fully doxed team like you guys with such an interesting history coming onto my show and also launching a real world business that is crossing over with decentralized finance. So with that being said, in your own words, do you guys want to give like an elevator pitch or a high level overview of Lemono?
Yeah. So Lemono we're trying to make Lemono a mainstream adopter of crypto in terms of having a product that's tapped into a mainstream audience, but with the Web 3.0 technology behind it. So we want to take all of the whole world of loyalty and rewards point and basically have a central hub for those and use the Web 3.0 technology to have them paid out in the form of a token. So whenever you're shopping online, that would be our first priority. When you shop online, you'll be able to have all your cashback and loyalty rewards based on a browser extension where you get both discounts, voucher codes, specific deals. And also, if you're a user of the Web 3.0 end of the system, you'll also have access to getting a cashback reward for those of the sites that we partnered with.
Nice. So you have a token, and what is the token called?
Lemono.
Lemono. So the Lemono token is how the loyalty and cashback rewards are paid to the users that shop on your partner websites and companies. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, so the companies basically pays us to refer the customers. They pay us in traditional fiat that will then bridge and have paid out in the form of the equivalent of the US dollar amount in the Lemono tokens to the end user.
Okay, very cool. And just to give kind of like a high level picture still before we dive into the weeds of everything, do you have any news or announcements with like what's happening right now with your timeline with launching this business that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, so sorry for just taking this one. There's so much stuff going on, and I'm so super excited.
Yeah.
So we've had our first approval of the whole concept for a major affiliate network. We are entering a phase where we are revealing all pre-sale information within the week. And that said pre-sale will happen this month in June. So there is lots of things going on. We also have a prototype working behind the scenes that we want to reveal so people can have a look and feel of the product, not the end product, but something to kind of like see for themselves. So there's coming loads of announcements during this period. So the best thing people can do is just enter the Discord.
All right, so very exciting times with this tech startup. Things are getting kicked off right now. Your pre-sale is going to be happening sometime in June, which is this month. And awesome, good to know. And if you guys want to follow their updates, like Mike said, check out their Discord server. I'll put the link in the description below, and you can also check out their website with all the links. GetLemono.com, GetLemono.com, GetLemono.com. Now, I kind of want to give users here an idea of what they can expect from like a DeFi degen perspective, because I know a lot of my subscriber base are decentralized finance, quote unquote degens, if you will. Like me, I love trying to make some money out here in crypto and DeFi. And I'm looking at this from that angle personally. And in my head, I'm just like, oh man, if I use this browser extension for my shopping, I could potentially get rich from shopping by sitting on a bunch of Lemono tokens that might appreciate over time. That's my strategy. What do you think is, from that perspective, what do you think is the best strategy for users to use with your project to make the most amount of money possible?
Yeah, that would definitely be to enter the pre-sale, because on top of our whole token, we'll also have utility NFTs that will boost your returns on your cashback percentages a lot. And for the pre-sale participants, we'll have a legacy NFT that you don't need to stake anything or have tokens tied up to. You'll get a massive boost that you can't access from the normal system if you're a pre-sale participant. So that will be an NFT that's available on the secondary market as well down the line, but will be super limited in availability.
So you're gonna have like a rare Founders Edition NFT for pre-sale participants?
Yeah.
So and that's gonna give additional boosts and bonuses where people can make the most by getting in and supporting you guys early.
Yeah, exactly. So go figure that if you just make your normal day to day, you use the Lemono token, the Lemono extension whenever you go shop online, and you don't think about it. You just enter pre-sale and don't think about it. Then, if you when you return in those 2 years, you could have potentially have 2x of the tokens that you wouldn't have if you didn't enter the pre-sale, because you'll get, instead of us sharing, we'll just give you the full affiliate commissions from the legacy NFTs.
Oh wow!
If you're a participant we will come in 2 different stages, and that will all be revealed next week. But that's something that's available for the early community adopters.
That's interesting, because that's not in the white paper yet. Like you said, it hasn't been revealed. OG pre-sale NFTs will, you said, potentially get 100% of the rewards from the affiliate partners versus the 50-50 split, with a little bit of, the tiered bonuses for the Lemon Buyers Club, which we'll get into. But that 50-50 split will be OGs get 100% of the affiliate rewards, which is super nice. That is cool. That's awesome. I did not know that. So you guys, you threw a fast one at me. Threw a curveball. All right, now, okay, so we've got, I guess, the best strategy if somebody's just like, how do I just get into this and try to make money speculating on a DeFi tech startup? By the way, you guys, as you know, my channel, I interview entrepreneurs like Michael and Christian from businesses in the DeFi world that are generally tech startups, and this is an emerging sector in an unregulated space, so things are crazy. Use your own judgment and everything like this. If you decide to invest into a project or anything like that, keep in mind these are small tech startups. Now, you guys obviously have a track record that is a mile long with your other businesses doing, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say how many dollars in revenue per year, but it's pretty amazing.
We've disclosed it for Alex, so
yeah. And so you guys are, you're proven entrepreneurs launching tech startups and taking them through multiple stages. Now, actually, Michael, you've been involved in multiple IPOs and things like that, haven't you?
Yeah, as an external consultant, I've been the largest one would be the Astralis, the Counter-Strike team, when they IPO'd.
Really?
The Astralis group. Yeah, I was an external advisor having their with their CMO have their whole digital strategy in place for the IPO.
That's amazing. Yeah, so super cool. Now, with that disclaimer and everything, just in terms of business in general, and what it's like in a tech startup space, we're in a big DeFi incubator essentially, and I have the privilege of interviewing entrepreneurs and tech developers. Now, I want to frame this for people because there's going to be two kinds of stakeholders here. They're going to be the users, and they're going to be your business partners. So, could you explain what your main value propositions are for end users first?
Yeah, if you take the end users, what they'll get out of this, then I'll have the business side.
So the users, I mean, I'm sorry, we went over it so many times. It's hard to get tired. No, but so for the user, it's I'll try to make it simple. So you are going to get the same benefits and discounts as our competitors. Join Honey, all of those. So we are going to have, I know it's very popular to say, but we're going to have an AI model scour the internet for all kinds of coupons and everything we can get our hands on. So that's the one thing. You're going to save money when you shop. Okay. Besides that, to make the example easy, you spend $100, you're buying a pair of shoes or whatever. You spend $100, you get a discount automatically for 10%, $10 off. You spend $90 now. Off of that, Lemono also gets, if it's a partner, the affiliate commission, and for they can vary from anywhere in between maybe 4 to 15%. Let's call it 10%. So we get $9 for the $90 purchase. We get $9 from our partner, and we actually, compared to our competitors, we actually share that commission with the user who made the purchase. So you save money on your purchase, and you actually get something on top. That's basically
what both save and earn.
Yeah.
So you save on your purchases through discounts and coupons and vouchers that you guys get from all over the internet, like other browser extensions do. You're going to utilize similar technology to do that, but also you're going to be sharing in the affiliate revenue earned from your business partners. Like you said, if you're getting a 10% off because you found this voucher, this coupon code, somebody's paying $90 instead of $100 now, they've saved $10. And then if you're getting a 10% affiliate commission because they're a business partner of yours, and you're sharing that with that end user now, let's just do like the ground floor user, the free user. I think it's a 50-50 split you do. Yeah. So it's like that $9 that you guys earn, you'd share essentially $4.50. The user would get $4.50 in Lemono tokens directly to their DeFi wallet. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's awesome, because I know Honey, a lot of people complain that they can't use it in their countries because they don't have access to PayPal or other payment systems that Honey uses. Some countries just won't allow it. And I have people asking me, hey, can you do this or that? And then, you send it to me through DeFi. Like, can you buy this with your PayPal account and then send this to me? And I'm like, no, that I don't want to. That sounds messy. But now you're opening this kind of a service to the whole world, essentially, using decentralized finance, which I love. DeFi makes these things possible where you don't have centralized authorities saying you can or can't do this. Even if something like Honey wants to do that with you, maybe PayPal won't allow it, or some other centralized financial services business that's in the middle, like a bank. So that's cool that you guys are just like, nah, we'll just pay you in a token, and then you can save that token in your DeFi wallet or just exchange it somewhere for stable coins or Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever you like, and just take your profit right away that way. And if you like doing stuff on the blockchain, you can earn crypto essentially just by shopping, and you no longer have to bridge over funds through like a centralized exchange where they take these crazy fees like Coinbase or Binance. Now I'm getting money coming in to my crypto world, and I don't have to on-ramp it anymore. I can just start accruing it through my day-to-day activities, and I love that concept.
And just a full disclaimer, Alex, we have to be partnered with the store for us to get the commission, and you get the cashback. Yep.
Well, I think if you get a decent enough DeFi community following, which it seems like that's going to probably happen because this is a very cool idea. I told you guys that as soon as I heard about you, that this is one of the coolest use cases that I've come across in DeFi in a long time. No, it's not like a Ponzi kind of business. It's not a ROI DApp where you're getting 2% per day for just like clicking a button and then, oh, the money's all gone. Whoops. No, this is like a real world business, a real utility with fully doxed founders. So I was like, you guys got to come on my channel. This sounds super cool. And if people start using this, they're going to tell those partner businesses or potential business partners, hey, you should offer Lemono for the Lemono users. And then that way, I'll be more inclined to shop at your store. Right? So it's kind of spread by word of mouth that way from your user base.
Yeah, and maybe that's a nice segue into the business part of things, the partner part.
Yeah, so what's the value proposition for business partners?
Yeah, so always as a business, the money is where the eyeballs are. So of course, having a massive following, as you mentioned, Alex, gives us some kind of leverage in regards of negotiation. Mm-hmm. But fortunately for us, the whole affiliate world is really organized and consolidated with either global partners or region-based or country-based affiliate networks, where we can just take our block and put it into their system, and they would enable us to have like hundreds, maybe in case of the global ones, thousands of partners that we could just partner with right off the bat, where it's literally like for a standard deal, it's like a click of a button, and they'll review our case and they'll just say, yes, let's go. So that's like for the massive adoption, we aren't going to like have to reach out to every single store and say, hear us out. Do you want to know what Lemono is? We can do that in a scalable way right off the bat. So that's like the adoption part for having like a standard agreement. Then the value proposition for the partners that want to engage with us would be that, let's say, Alex, that you are going to JD Sports or something like that, and looking at a Nike shoe. We want to offer our customers and our users the best deal available. And if you as a company wants to have those clients, if you like, I would like to be the one that sells the most Nike shoes, you can make a deal with us where we will have a feed going into our service where we can scour for and find the other merchants that sells the exact same product, but where cashback is enabled and also a discount is available. So we can like funnel a majority of traffic into a specific partner, and that would be the benefit for both the partner and the end user.
Interesting. So let me see if I understood this correctly. So for potential business partners, well, first you're going to use standardized affiliate networks that have hundreds and thousands of companies that offer their products all consolidated into one firm that kind of outsources and manages these partners, and you're going to right off the bat have deals and partnerships with those companies, so that way right off the bat you're in X amount of online stores just immediately.
Yeah, for the cashback card.
Yeah. So right out of the gate, when your business launches, you should have hundreds potentially of partner sites or more.
Yeah, we're aiming for 1,000 this end of the year, but we're always doing conservative numbers coming from a traditional business side, so we want to over deliver.
I always say could be more.
Could be.
I love that you also use conservative accounting principles. I think that's very responsible way to do it, and I always recommend that myself. So for prospective business partners that then see the value of partnering with you, you're going to have these businesses approaching you, and you're going to be able to offer them additional benefits. Like you'll look for all the other sellers of a particular product and be able to essentially ensure that your partners can offer the best deal to their customers and your users, and give them the best discount possible, give your partners the business, and then also the rewards go to fund the Lemono business and the rewards paid out to the Lemono users, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and for that to happen, to tap into those features, you basically need just to enable the cashback part, the affiliate commission part, and then you will have those features available. And then it's like from there, it's like an auction system, and you could have two potential vendors offering the exact same product, but then the best one will win.
I see. Okay. Awesome. Now, let's just run through a few technical questions so people understand how this would work. What blockchain is Lemono on?
Arbitrum.
Awesome. Good choice. Why did you pick Arbitrum?
Basically, because we want to be front runners and we want to be, let's call it a big fish in a small pond instead of just drowning in some of the classic ones.
I don't know if a fish can drown, but instead of
my first language is Danish.
Yeah, but exactly what Christian said. If we're launching, we want to have for us to successfully launch this, we need to have a super tight community built into it from the get-go, and we think that Arbitrum offers that's it. Community, and we want to offer this type of business onto the Arbitrum chain because we see that there's massive potential for a business like us on Arbitrum.
All right, that makes sense, and I think Arbitrum's a good place. There's a lot of capital there and a lot of eyes on it, and it's growing fast. There's a lot of capital flowing there, and it's very cheap to transact onto Arbitrum, and it's very easy to bridge crypto and assets from other networks onto Arbitrum. I'm having a blast over there myself. All sorts of opportunities on there, so I think that's a good decision. Do you guys plan to do do you guys plan to go cross chain at some point for the rewards?
Yeah, so maybe just to follow up, I will come to the cross chain thing, but also we're going to have the pre-sale available in multiple chains. So you don't need to have tokens or funds on Arbitrum. You will be able to pay in ETH or BSC, also by credit card, because we know that this is we have like a huge network that's coming and have their first crypto experience from this type of thing. So we want to offer as many potential buy methods as possible. But going forward, it isn't in the roadmap, but we are when we have our first priority is to grow as big as we can on Arbitrum, but there is a potential strategy in the future to go multi-chain for this.
Yeah, it's one step at a time, but Yeah, but that is a huge motivator for us. Is just the whole mass adoption. We want to make it so as available and easy as possible, because we know from our experience, that's what works.
Yeah, we're marketing guys, so we know that it needs to be as simple as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. So, does your project use NFTs or fungible tokens, or just smart contracts, or a combination of these things?
Yeah, so it's a combination of things. We're using a combination of for the reward part. You need to mint a what we call a lemon NFT. That's kind of like our utility for the NFTs, is that you have a lemon NFT that decides what cashback rates you're getting. So the normal NFT is free for you to mint, and then you have access to our full technology hub. I think we'll go into that later on, but then you will be able to access and enable the cashback rewards and stuff like that when you have that set NFT, because all rewards will be routed through that NFT. But also to have, I know I mentioned the legacy NFTs, but we'll also have like day-to-day upgrades available for NFT. Right now, the strategy is that you stake a certain amount, and then you can upgrade your NFT for like having 25% extra cashback rewards on top of your 50%.
So, if I understood this correctly, you'll have an NFT that gets you access to the lemon buyers club, and then you are able to use the browser extension and get your rewards paid out and everything. And then if you want to receive additional cashback rewards and bonuses, then you can stake a certain amount of the Lemono tokens, and it essentially upgrades your free NFT to the next tier.
Yeah.
And then if you stake even more, you can get to the higher tier as well, which then gives you higher percent cash back. So Lemono token, and then the NFT, that's like your membership access pass, and then staking contract if you want to get boosted cashback rewards. Did I lay that all out correctly?
Yeah. You got it covered.
All right, great. So so the token is called Lemono. That's what it's going to be called on the exchanges and everything.
Yeah.
Lemono. And how much will Lemono cost during the pre-sale, and how much will it cost at launch?
So we're doing a fair launch, so it will be the same price for everyone. There isn't a discount given because we have a strategy in place to like implement the buybacks from the very beginning. So it would be, we can't, full disclaimer, we can't see into the future and foresee how the price movements will be, but we definitely have some strong measurements set in place to have a good start.
Okay. So what price is it launching at? You don't know yet?
Subject to change, but we are aiming at 1 cent.
Okay. So you're aiming to launch around 1 cent. And do you know what kind of discount you're looking to give for pre-salers?
That would be the NFT that you're tapping into, the legacy NFT, where you don't have that, you will own fully. The NFTs we were covering before was if you want to upgrade, that's temporarily. So you stake for with a 30 days notice to have upgraded the NFT, and you won't get access to those levels of boost in your cashback rewards after the pre-sale.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. That could be depending on how much you shop. That could be a pretty huge discount. Let's call it that.
So if I understood that correctly, the main benefit of the pre-sale isn't a discount on the token price, but you're going to be getting the kind of OG Founders Edition NFT.
Yeah, because
minting your NFT for the members club during the pre-sale and getting your tokens then and everything. And then that gives you those 100% cashback rewards versus the 50%.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
that's forever. And that's just
Yeah,
like,
that's where, and you're able to sell
Awesome.
it on the open market as well, and that would be that's subject to what the community think it's worth. There is no floor price in that, and as Christian mentioned, uh, if we're going into having a discount on the token, it would just be a numbers game for, let's say you're a whale and you have like 50,000 put in, and you know that you immediately can gain 10% from the launch just because of the arbitrage and the discount.
Yeah.
I don't personally think that that's the way to go within the space.
Yeah, and that's why I ask those questions. So that way unsuspecting investors can anticipate potential taking profit of private and pre-sale investors that got a discount, and then you can better judge if at a launch if there's going to be a dip and find like the true floor after the whales and early investors take some of their risk off the table. And that's totally normal. Like you see that kind of thing in seed round funding for traditional business and everything, and IPOs and things like that. So I like to just cover that so people know, but you guys aren't going to have a price discount for the tokens, so you won't have people trying to just sell and take quick profits right at launch. Instead, pre-salers get kind of a long-term lifetime benefit, an NFT that gives them full access, 100% of the rewards, instead of the 50-50 split that normal free users would be getting going forward after that, which I think is a very valuable thing if you do all your shopping online, like me and my wife do, because we live 35 minutes from the nearest town, and we order everything online because it's just, we can't drive an hour plus round trip to go get something we need. So we just have like Amazon or UPS or whatever deliver it, right? Like,
yeah, and just fast forward it to when we get the card link technology up and running, and you have the physical aspect as well. You will also gain 100% on that one. Disclaimer: the physical part will definitely be a smaller percentage than the online when in the beginning, because we have to partner with major partners to have a full to have coverage in the market. But like if you get 100% of 2% of each time you purchase something with your card, that's like free. That's like free real estate.
No, it could be a lot of money.
Yeah, it could be, and especially if the Lemono token goes up in value over time, and you're like me, I'd probably just like sit on the tokens, and they'd be like my honey rewards, like the honey gold. I just have that accumulating, and then every once in a while I'm like, oh yeah, I've got like 15 or 20 bucks waiting to be withdrawn. But if it's in a forced appreciating token, because you guys are using part of your revenue to force appreciation on the Lemono token, then like who knows what could happen to the price action, which makes that kind of more fun for me. And if I'm a firm believer in your business, and I think you guys are going to do well over the next few years, heck, if you guys become the next Honey or even 1/10 of Honey, the Lemono token will be astronomical. In my opinion, not financial advice or anything like that. This is my educated opinion on these things, though. In terms of a business, like Honey's massive, and if you even got a fraction of their market share, and you pumping some of that revenue into a token with a small to medium liquidity pool, I could see that token going pretty crazy over 1 to 3 years. And if I'm just like shopping and I I get like $200 to $500 a year at a stable price in rewards, but that's paid out in Lemono, and that Lemono like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10x's or something, assuming, you know, not conservative accounting principles here. Sorry, guys. But like that could be awesome if I've like bought my normal stuff, used your business partners because I want to get some free crypto back, and then I just sit on those because I'm lazy and I don't want to try to manage too many things all the time. So I just like set them and forget them, especially if I believe you guys are going to do good over time. And then say I come back in 2 or 3 years and I'm like, holy cow, the Lemono tokens skyrocketed or something. And then I look and I'm like, oh, I just got rich from my online shopping habit, right? That's like it's an interesting situation that somebody could end up in. And I love this idea, really.
Yeah, because as psychology, second language. As you mentioned, we are interested in the volume. So having like 500,000 people, they won't go into selling $1, $10, $5 rewards, but that will accumulate in the market and therefore have a really strong buy pressure going into the protocol, because it isn't from the trading, it's from the actual use.
Right. Yeah, it's very corny, but I mean, the power is in the numbers. It is in the community. Obviously, why we are here.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys obviously have scaled businesses, brought many businesses to market and stuff. So as far as teams go, I am very confident in your abilities to successfully execute on your business plan. Obviously, this is still a startup and all that, and it's a new space, but as far as teams go, I think you guys are one of the most competent teams I've ever interviewed on my channel.
Oh,
and yeah, and you got like such a cool business plan that you've found a real utility for DeFi that I haven't seen done yet. And I think it could be wildly popular if this idea starts spreading via word of mouth, which it already is. Like I've heard about you guys now, and you guys just started, so it's such a good idea that it's already come to my doorstep. And I want to kind of bring this to my users because like there isn't this part of crypto yet for shopping. I don't like I'm using Honey, but I will switch over to your extension very quickly, knowing that I can get paid out in crypto. Then I can take that crypto, sell it, and then go liquidity farm with it somewhere and make more money, decentralized. Or take that token, Lemono, and just like stake it so I can earn higher rewards from my shopping. And then I'll just like accumulate from my shopping and come back in 2 years and hope it's a moonshot for me. And I don't know. I think there are so many strategies here. And could somebody just buy the token at pre-sale or launch and just like sit on them and speculate if they believe in you guys?
Yeah, totally. So it will of course be available on the open market to just sell and buy and stuff like that. But you can just sit on it and like kind of like watch it like Bitcoin, but with extra steps.
Yeah. Now, what exchange will you trade on initially?
So we're going to subject of change, but it will be locked in this week. But
Okay.
Uniswap will be the place to go.
Okay, so Uniswap, decentralized exchange on the Arbitrum network.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Very cool. Good choice. Big popular exchange. A lot of liquidity there. A lot of eyes on it. All right. Now, what about the NFTs? Where will they trade on the secondary market?
So that's something that we haven't discussed yet, but of course it will be a major marketplace because we want mass adoption. We want to have a broad commercial perspective on this. So it will be one of the big markets.
Okay. All right. Good to know. So you're going to be looking for a big popular marketplace for the NFTs where you'll have the most amount of eyes and kind of like a vetted, tried and true marketplace that's been used for a lot of other.
Trust me.
Yeah, we are experimental. We don't necessarily have to lean against the experimental use cases for our product.
Got it. Okay. Now I know a lot of people ask, or a lot of people don't ask this, but a lot of people want to know: did you do any rounds of private seed funding for the Lemono tokens? And if you did, what was the discount offered for like private seed round investors?
We did not. Full disclosure, like we said, it's a fair launch. We told our network of let's call it regular business people to get in on the action, the same with the same what do you call it, at the same grounds as everybody else, just like we're doing that. So there's no extra bonus or anything for them.
All right, good to know. So just to reiterate that, there was no private seed round, so it's a completely fair launch, and even the pre-sale doesn't offer a discount on the token price. So that way, everybody who buys the Lemono token when you guys launch will be getting it at the exact same price, and that's going to prevent people from dumping discounted tokens. So that's really easy for people to understand what they're getting into. I buy the token at this price, and I know I'm buying it at the same price all of the pre-sale people were getting, and, you know, people who know you guys behind the scenes and would be angel investors, they're buying it at the exact same price. So that way, if anybody's selling like below that launch price, they're essentially selling at a loss for whatever reasons they have. And that's good, because I know what to kind of expect, how that launch might go. It's not going to be like a like token goes down 30-40% immediately as people take the risk off the table. So I love that. No seed round, which, by the way, it's fine when companies do this, but I want everybody to be fully informed before they enter into a project so they can know what to expect. If they just like buy a bunch of Lemono tokens, how stable is the price going to be at launch? What kind of action can we expect? And with no pre-sale discount, no private sale discount, it's a fair launch. And with popularity and hype and everything, a fair launch like that most likely will have an upward trajectory, in my opinion. Not guaranteed, obviously, but assuming you guys even execute half-assed on your business plan, I think you're going to be doing just fine there. So, now, how many tokens are going to be for sale in total? Like, do you have like a maximum token amount, or is it like a flexible ceiling?
So the supply will be fixed, but it all depends on the actual sale. And as mentioned, we'll go further into detail next week for the full disclosure of the pre-sale information.
So you're looking at a fixed supply. You haven't determined that fixed supply quite yet, but it's not going to be like a flexible supply where you can mint more as you want or anything?
No.
Cool. All right, good to know. Now, how much are you trying to raise? Like, do you have a target that you're trying to raise before you launch this thing? Do you have any like minimum that you have to hit to launch this business? Or can you guys just basically launch this with whatever right out of the gate?
Yeah, so we have a target in mind, but this is a subject to how much gasoline do you want to put on the fire, basically, because the more funds we have available to do the acquisitions of commercial sites and potential direct user acquisition platforms, the better. And we will look into. We are already in talks with companies because we believe in this project. So we are already in talks to have that set in place when the pre-sale is ultimately finished. But we can have this. We can have this launched for as little as, not to go into certain numbers, but like if we only manage to raise $500,000, we would be able to get the project off its grounds, not with the roadmap trajectory and what's it called, the goals that we put into the roadmap. We wouldn't of course be able to hit those targets.
It's going to be a different and slower scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, because if we chop it up in chunks and we all the time have to go, let's say quarterly or half yearly or whatever, have to go see, oh, now we need more money, or it's just going to be a slow project. And we do believe and have seen exponential growth before, so that's what we would prefer.
Awesome. So if I'm understanding this correctly, there isn't really a minimum amount that you guys need to raise. You're launching this business no matter what, but the more that you raise initially up front, the faster you can scale your business. Like you said, Mike, it's like pouring gasoline onto a fire.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of businesses that I like coming out here doing the crowdfunding, because you don't need anybody, necessarily to launch your business plan. But the more capital you have and that you can raise up front, the faster you can scale this, and the faster everybody can win from those economies of scale and that rate of growth that you can have. So you're saying you're looking, your target, you're looking to raise at least $500,000, but any more just scales it faster. But if you do the $500,000, then the numbers in your white paper for acquisitions and things like that, you'll be able to realistically attain those goals each quarter.
Yeah, we wouldn't say that was a success as we managed to get there, because as mentioned, we want to get this thing really off its grounds. So our internal targets is a bit higher, but that would make us on the trajectory that would just be prolonged.
Right. And there is nothing wrong with that, by the way. So for anybody who's an entrepreneur like myself, like I started this YouTube business with nothing but elbow grease and bootstraps, and I pulled myself up from those bootstraps, and I just like put in the hours. Obviously, if I had a ton of money up front, I could have scaled this thing very a lot faster, but there's nothing wrong with building as you go. But again, if you guys have an awesome business model and all of the experience scaling other businesses, then yeah, pour as much gasoline on it as you can and shoot for the moon, right? So
Exactly.
Very cool. Now, are there any taxes or fees on your NFTs, your tokens, or your staking pools?
No, not currently. Only the gas fees.
Okay, good to know. Now, how will the funds that you raise during the pre-sale and everything, how will that be allocated?
Yeah, so we'll have a like 25% of the get-go for our free smart contract developer, our referrals for, we're doing marketing pre-launch to have like a massive community tapping into this, because that's potential users also. So like the marketing is already starting, like we're sitting here, right? So and then we're if we had those certain numbers that we kind of like have as an internal goal, we'll have a runway that will enable us to like have a free yes one way, and we know that could be a lot in terms of crypto years. That's like 3 decades. But we come from a traditional world where we need to be prepared to like execute on the plans and have everything figured from the get-go. And of course, if we can see that, okay, the service works, our model is proven, then we'll just use those instead of wait to have like we could be self-sustaining within 9 months or something like that. We'll just take those funds and, like you said, pour gasoline on the fire and acquire more sites and more companies. And that will also have a 10% going into liquidity for the trading.
Okay, and so in the white paper here aligns with what you're saying. So whatever your pre-sale is, you're looking to put about 25% into development costs for 2 years or so. And then 3-year runway of operation costs for marketing, acquisition, salaries, commercial development, about 65% of the pre-sale raise, and then 10% is going to liquidity. Now, is your liquidity pool going to be backed up by any other assets, like in the treasury or other funds? Do you have a liquidity management strategy with your team?
Yeah, so we are kind of like one-to-one placing a treasury for that would be something under the operation cost that we will put into like having as an asset that we are projected to like that's the coverage of the third year. But if something happened, and we would of course if there is a massive background, anything could happen. We would be able to use those funds. Also, all the sites and potential companies that we acquire would also be something that we could go into we would be able to call our bank and say we need to loan against those assets, stuff like that. So we would be backed. I can't give you the set number, but we would definitely have the assets as well as cash on hand to like cover those.
Do you have like a target like liquidity backing ratio that you want to aim for?
Not to be put against the wall, but I think something like between 4 to 6 times would be a healthy way to go around this.
I think so too. So 4 to 6 times backing of the liquidity if you needed to. I think that's a super healthy number. I saw that work with another project that I've interviewed. I hope you don't mind. I'll say the project for a lot of my, so people know what I'm talking about. Like MDB, Make DeFi Better. They also have been on average 5x backing their liquidity with assets that they have in their treasury and on hand, that just in case there was like a bank run, like you said, or some like massive sell-off from just the market conditions, they could rebuy up that whole liquidity pool 5 times over. And I think that's just a really healthy thing. And then also they get to buy back their own tokens at a dip in those cases. So I think it's actually a very strategic way to manage your liquidity. Did I explain that right?
100%, and we love Danny from MTB. He's kind of like our like leading star in terms of the DeFi founders. So I think that it's hold back on everyone else, but MTB and Danny, that's perfectly okay with us.
Hey, that's awesome. And I love Danny too, and Alice. I think they're wonderful people. I love the MDB team and the community. They have made me a lot of money over the past year, relatively, for my krill status, as we were talking about being a whale, a fish, a shrimp, and a krill. I'm pretty much a krill right now, but it's been my best performing asset, and I think it's because Danny is really great at managing these DeFi numbers and his community and stuff. So that's awesome. You have a great relationship with Danny. I think that's a good sign for me. I really like Danny and MDB. So all right, cool. I think that's awesome how you guys are going to manage your liquidity. It's a good sign that you guys understand how all that works ahead of time. A lot of projects don't figure that out until it's too late. Now, with your staking pool, real quick, just so people know some of the mechanics, is there a minimum or maximum staking period?
Yeah, so you will have a 30 days notice, kind of like if you have like a Netflix subscription or something like that. We're trying to do it as mainstream as possible for newly adopters to tap into the whole crypto world and how it all works with the staking. You aren't going to pay a subscription fee because we don't think that would be a model that will be massively adopted. But the staking pools where we can take tokens off the market temporarily would be something that benefits the protocol and the overall price movement. So you have a 30 days notice. We haven't gone into if there could be like a fine for if you want to take them off the off within those 30 days, but that's something that's up for discussion if the community would think that would be beneficial.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you use the free NFT, the small lemon NFT, no, you don't have to stake any tokens or anything. You can just mint this free NFT and start using the browser extension and the app and get into the members club to get all the perks and benefits and cashbacks and discounts. But if you stake 1,500 tokens for a 30-day minimum period, then you get upgraded to a medium lemon. And you get an additional 25% on top of your cashback rate. And if you want the max cashback rate, then you can stake 2,800 tokens, get an additional 25% on top of that of cashback. And that's also a 30-day minimum staking period. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Is there an emergency early withdrawal fee if somebody needed to bail because their car broke down and they needed to, some emergency cash? If somebody in an emergency had to withdraw, do they have that option or no?
Not right now, as mentioned. That's something that could be up for discussion, but not. I don't think we will be launching with it. Also, just to full disclosure and disclaimer, those set numbers could be subject to change when we go into the pre-sale phase. But we will also, in that amount of time, think about if there could be any option for like fast withdrawal for a fee. Yeah. That's a good input.
Okay, good to know. So, right now, no emergency withdrawal feature. It's 30 days isn't that long anyway, so I don't think you'll get too. I think that's a pretty short staking period in my opinion from what I've seen, and no, that's cool. So, with your Lemono rewards, say I buy that awesome pair of shoes I've been wanting, and I got $10 cash back coming to me in Lemono tokens. How does that work? Where do those rewards go? Do I have to go claim them somewhere? Do they get airdropped to my wallet? How does that work?
Yeah, so if you just scroll up a bit, Alex, on your on the page there, you a little more. Yeah. Oh, you're in the pitch deck. Sorry, I thought you were on the website. But that's actually a part of the dashboard you're seeing on the right side there. Where you will be able to redeem those tokens. We need to have in the start at the beginning, we need to make sure that we thought of everything, and there will be a grace period of 30 days from you make the purchase to the redeemable tokens will appear, because we have to ensure that there isn't like a fraud or you go buy a massive what's it called, gift card. Yeah, gift card. Sorry, a massive gift card of like $10,000, and you have like Lemono tokens of $1,000 going into your wallet, and you just redeem it, and the whole economics needs to be in place. So we need to verify that purchase isn't something that's refundable and going back as a chargeback. So that within those 30 days after that period, you will be able to redeem the tokens that you have available.
Okay, so after 30 days, I'll be able to go to your app or website, and or is it directly in the browser extension?
It will be available in the browser as well. Yeah.
Okay, so I will go through your browser extension to your DApp, your web app, or through the app on iOS or Android, and I will be able to see how many pending tokens I have. And after a 30-day waiting period for fraud prevention purposes, then your rewards will be available after that 30-day waiting period. And then I just basically do I just click claim at that point? Like if it says redeemable tokens here, do I just click a button and it shows up in my wallet then?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Okay, good to know. Now, how does it know who I am? Does it use purely an NFT, or do I have to sign up with like my user, like an email address or something like that?
So we are going through if there could be any possible governance or something like that going on. We're, as you mentioned, we're a new space. But our wish is for this to be only depending on the NFT part.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be any personal need for signups. We do have we want to adopt like the mass have a mass adoption from the commercial markets, and there is an option to make an user, but that won't be something that's tied to the whole cashback part.
Okay, so for the commercial partners, they'll probably have a B2B account and dashboard with you to manage their affiliate stuff, or
no,
but for
that
the
would be at
user,
the networks, but like say if you are a 31-year-old woman buying stuff online, and you see our ad on TikTok, and you go and you don't have the wallet, you can sign up with a normal SSO like that, and a traditional way where you only get access to the discount part, but we'll try to educate you and get you on board to the crypto part as well. So like that's our mass adoption strategy.
I see. Okay, so you are also going to make this available and useful for Web 2 users who
Exactly.
want to get discounts at partner stores, who want to get those coupon codes so they can get the best deal through your partner network, and then you're going to try to use consumer education to show them the additional benefits on the Web3 side of things, and tell them if you want to get cashback rewards as well, download this browser, well, the browser extension they'll probably already have, and you just say, can get a DeFi wallet and mint this NFT through our extension or app, and then you'll start getting Lemono tokens. And so you're going to have a consumer education for the Web 2 only people to kind of bring mass adoption to the Web 3 space, which is, I think, really cool. That's kind of what I do too. At the end of the day, I'm bringing Web 2 people into Web 3 and showing them how to use it, the value propositions that are out here for different utilities, and also decentralized finance, self-custody, all those wonderful things that we love about DeFi. And that's great. So, but for me already, us DeFi folks out here, you want to make it, if possible, just NFT based. You have an NFT, you're anonymous, you don't have to KYC, not necessarily. If the government comes at you later and says this, would you make people KYC in that case? Or
no, and that there's we discussed it with also our lawyer and people within the space that those said tokens could also be, until you redeem them, points that you just convert into tokens. So there's lots of things that we can do and work with, but we haven't seen any roadblocks and on that end for now. So we're going to have like that strategy put in place and open, but we won't have we aren't going to force KYC anyone.
Good. I like that. That's music to my ears, because I don't think people should ever be forced to KYC if they don't want to. That's why I like DeFi. You know, you can kind of just, you don't have to give everybody your information to be able to use something cool like this. Like with Honey, for instance, they got all my info through like PayPal, or like if you link your bank account, I'm like, I have to dox myself with them, and they have all my shopping history. They can sell that to their marketing partners, who then can sell my info to then have crap popping up on my screens on my phone and computer, trying to sell me more stuff because they think, you know, I'm a 35-year-old male in America. He's gonna want to buy this, and then I'm just like, get out of here. Why do you know that about me? I like the kind of anonymous factor of DeFi. I just go to a marketplace with a new wallet I just minted. Nobody has to know who I am. I don't have to on-ramp funds to it. And I can just mint this NFT, link it to the browser extension, and then go do my normal shopping. And then the rewards just are sitting there in your app for me to claim. And then I can take those tokens and go exchange them, trade them, sit on them, whatever. And I don't have to kind of worry about somebody forcing me to like give you my driver's license and other stuff to be able to get cash back rewards, right? Because that's kind of how it is with some other things. Like I said, like PayPal and stuff can get kind of weird with that. Cool.
But that's the beauty of it. We aren't the actual exchange, so we don't need to hold people accountable or stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I like that, and I like that you have a legal team that you consult as well to make sure you're doing everything in a way that protects the business and users, and that you have all sorts of different workarounds if you need to slightly change your business model without forcing anybody into KYC or you lose everything. Because I've seen that in projects where they force KYC after you've already bought stuff, and then I'm like, I'm not going to KYC out of principle, and I just have to write that off at that point. So that's also a risk to users I've seen out here, and I'm glad that you have thought that through and have legal counsel to make sure that you don't have to ever put your users in that compromising situation.
No, exactly.
100%.
So do you have any external sources of revenue to support the rewards that are paid out in Lemono tokens? And do those revenue sources also support the price of the Lemono token?
Yeah, so apart from the affiliate commissions from the direct purchases, we also acquired these high volume traffic sites that for us is important to have to own, like a marketing motor to put the Lemono service in front of. Those sites that have like thousands of daily visitors also comes with already existing revenue stream of affiliate commissions from just a link referral. So the part of the users that doesn't necessarily adopt Lemono are also making revenue for that site with just the traditional way of doing like the traffic part. And that profit with the maintenance cost deducted, that amount of the monthly profit will go directly back into the protocol as a buyback, either a buyback or a liquidity add.
Okay, so you guys will be buying high volume traffic sites, including ones that already make profits from affiliate commissions. You'll like also do something similar to like we see with those coupon websites like Groupon and different things like that, where somebody's searching for something plus the word coupon code or discount, and your site will ideally pop up in the organically high in the rankings or through ad spend, have sponsored to get you at the top of the search results. You user clicks that, they come to the Lemono based coupon code website, which, like, you guys have an example here. You'd have a website called like juicydeals.com, subject to change, of course. And and then it's like, okay, I want to buy those like those shoes that I wanted, and you guys offer there's this discount we found at this website and this discount at this website, or if you click directly here and go through this link, you get this discount. They click that link and it goes through your affiliate code for Lemono. That then anything they buy after that using your affiliate link that they've passed through generates you guys revenue, and then you take that revenue to not only pay out rewards, but also to support the Lemono token in the form of buybacks and adding directly to the liquidity pool. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Our goal is actually already to have the first buyback next month. So it's actually going to happen before even the first user uses the extension.
Awesome. So you're going to have buybacks happening on Lemono token before the extension is even ready for users to use.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So that's I love this business model, by the way. These websites when I use them, I'm an affiliate marketer myself. I'm an Amazon affiliate. I've done ClickBank stuff. I've done a half a dozen other affiliate programs over the past 10 or 15 years. And I see these coupon websites and I think they are genius. They are so smart. Like, these things are cash cows when they're done right. And I'm always going through them and like, they're getting an affiliate commission off me, whatever. It doesn't cost me anything. And I might find a discount on their website. So I'm cool with them getting a commission for sending me to wherever.
Yeah.
I love that you're integrating that strategy into Lemono because it fits right into the algorithm and the software and technology that you will be using for the browser extension that searches for in your database of partner promotions and discount codes already. And then you can just use an API of some sort to access that data and lay it out on juicydeals.com in a way that they just click, sends them through your affiliate link. Boom, you guys just made revenue. And if you do it right and you get tons of traffic, you can make insane amounts of money doing that.
Just also a little add-on operationally, we'll have people actually not just maintaining the level after we make these acquisitions of these sites, but actually trying to make them better and rank higher.
Yeah,
more traffic, more buybacks.
It's easier for something that already does like 500,000 in revenue a year to take that to 600,000 or 700,000 instead of having something go from 0 to 100 or 200,000.
Yeah, I agree. That is what I have heard as well, and I have started many from 0 to a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 or something a month personally, and it's a lot. It's really hard, right? And if you've done SEO stuff, it takes time to get that domain authority ranking so you show up higher in the search results.
Yeah.
And then also you got to target long tail keywords for specific things and do all this stuff. So if you can acquire something like that that's already doing it well and you know how to scale that up, I think that's a great strategy. Now, are you only going to be acquiring websites that do the discount and coupon codes like the Groupons and the other type of websites? Are those the only websites you're targeting to acquire, or are you also looking to acquire other types of commercial websites?
Also other types, I'll take it. So of course, it basically every type of affiliate site we're looking at. So it could also be comparison sites. Those are very popular all around.
As long as they are focused on purchasing, because that's like where if you're coming from a marketing perspective, the user journey, that's exactly where Lemono needs to be present. At the time of the purchase, because that's where you can get people to install the extension and use the service when they can see, oh, I'm going to buy this in 10 minutes. I would want to save $9 on my purchase.
Yeah, so we're not looking for little blogs that makes $100 a month.
But it could be like our latest one we were in talks with were a headphone review site that had like a massive traffic volume. So everything that fits in that with those variables.
Okay, so my affiliate blogs that I've made with like not that much revenue a month, maybe at best a couple $100 a month, I might on some of my specialized niche sites that I don't put enough time into anymore these days. That's probably not what you're looking for, but I see here you're scouting for websites grossing $1,000 to $10,000 a month, and like that headphone review website, if they've got that dialed in and they've got the SEO favoritism from the search engines and they know what they're doing, then you're looking to acquire those, and then you want to scale those up to $600,000 or $700,000 revenue. Is that gross a year? That's like your target for those?
Yeah. Not necessarily those numbers. It could be, but everything that's kind of like we can make. If you like stating like from $1,000 a month in gross revenue coming through, where like if there isn't any like ad spend or something like that, that's like almost the profit level. We can take those sites and scale those. That would typically, if we're purchasing something around $1,000 in a monthly revenue, that would typically be if we want to be present in a country specifically. But we're targeting the higher numbers for like a global exposure.
Got it. So you're looking something that's grossing like net profits or something, 1,000 or more. So after their ad spend and all that stuff and expenses. But in case you're looking to get into a specific country, you're willing to kind of make some concessions to enter those markets. So that's very cool. And then with those websites, you're looking to put e-commerce deals with Lemono in front of those users then. So you're also going to use that to generate revenue, but also to grow your user base.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why all the profits deducted and the expenses deducted will go into the protocol, because the Lemono company wants the user acquisition without having to pay for the exposure on platforms like Meta, Facebook, Instagram. There will be free users, but the protocol will benefit from all of the commissions.
I see. All right, so that's a great strategy. Do you have like acquisition metrics that you use when you're looking at one of these websites? Do you have any specific ratios that you use aside from your profit numbers that you show here?
Yeah, no, that would depend on the age, the stability, how long have they been, and the growth potential as well. But essentially, the most important part would be how long have they sustained those revenue numbers in terms of time. So like if it's for those that knows SEO, if it's a black hat site or something like in the middle of white hat, black hat, and only have like 3 months of record history, we wouldn't necessarily put a multiple that's the same as if it was a business that had run for 8 years and doing substantial revenue and have like a small growth rate.
Yeah, we'll do a full audit.
Yeah, full
of course.
Okay. And if they look good on stability and history and growth potential, do you have any like numbers you'd be throwing at potential, people looking to sell their businesses? If they make like, let's say they make $100,000 a year profit from their website and they've been around for 8 years, like you said, would you do like a multiple of that, like revenue or EBITDA or something?
Yeah, so typically we want to hit a sweet spot where we can acquire sites within a multiple of 2.5, because there is some risk involved. So we'll rather have 5 sites doing 5,000 instead of having one site doing 25,000.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Now, do you guys have the manpower to like on hand, or are you going to be hiring people to manage these e-commerce sites that you acquire and your IT infrastructure to handle all that?
We don't have the manpower right now, but we will have. So we are definitely hiring people.
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody's looking to work for Lemono that's watching this, can they just like reach out to you guys and send you their resume?
Hopefully.
Of course.
And you will have a big advantage coming from the DeFi space. So we don't have to get you up to speed with what we're actually doing.
If you know what you're doing, we can use you.
Well, I know a ton of people out here that are very smart that would love to work for a real company coming into the DeFi space, and they know DeFi. So I'll send some people your way, and anybody watching, send these guys your resume. Check them out on Discord and at their website. That's awesome. I love entrepreneurship. You guys are creating jobs and prosperity for people all around the world in our community. So thanks for that. Now speaking of DeFi and some of the issues we face out here, and concerns that DeFi users have, will you have any way to prove to people that you are actually generating revenue, because a lot of people be like, oh, you know, everything in DeFi is a Ponzi scheme or a scam or this or that. Will you be able to prove to people 100% that that's not the case?
So for in regards of the acquisitions, it will be totally transparent in terms of what are the maintenance costs and what's going into the protocol. We haven't gone through it, but instead of having, if there is a profit of 10,000, that won't be one purchase. That would be crazy because that would just for those that wants to time it,
Right.
freely. So we actually have a bot set in place that's being developed to have like we can just put funds into the contract and it will over a period of 30 days they will make small purchases, so it's kind of like getting a natural volume and price movement. But we're going to be full transparent with all acquisitions made, what's coming in from the affiliate networks in terms of revenue and what our expenses are for maintaining those sites. And that would primarily be if we're going to hire a developer, a external agency, or having an internal employee having it to maintain those sites.
Okay. And just to let everybody know, these guys are fully doxed, so if there are any concerns about revenue, you guys are in, you know, what's considered, I think, a tier 1 country with legal and financial accountability, and as fully doxed public figures that run multiple companies, which you can just Google your names and verify this for yourself if you're watching this. It would be real crazy if that they were trying to run some kind of a Ponzi thing or whatever that we often see people trying to do out here. And that's why I love interviewing real business owners that come out here fully transparent and say, hey, this is my business. This is how it works. Look us up. Now, speaking of that, is this a registered company? Are you guys going to be like a legal entity?
Yes, 100%. The papers are being formed right now. So you have to have some start capital and stuff when you make a Danish company. They have been forwarded. So I think within a week, it'll be good to go.
Yeah, within days.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We got the confirmation like last week.
What name what's the legal entity name going to be, if you don't mind my asking?
Yeah, so in Denmark it's pretty typical because all the like top level numbers are official when you have this kind of companies. So for making it more hidden for competitors to like look into the numbers, it's pretty standard to have another name than the actual service. So
so the name we chose is Next Thing on the Block, APS.
Next thing on the block, APS.
Yeah, and the APS is like LLC.
Yeah, Danish.
Okay, and it's going to be registered in Denmark.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, good to know. I love that. So, that hopefully makes a lot of people sleep easier at night, knowing that this isn't just some shady smart contract that they're just like hoping gives them more money or something. You guys are a real business. You're real people. You got a real company registered here. Love it. All right. So how long have you guys been? I know we talked about your history a little bit, just like real quick. How long have you guys been in the e-commerce and or crypto space?
I can start. I am definitely newer in the DeFi space than Michael is. Michael is the what I would call the OG, but I've been around DeFi for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and lost my amount of money in the small coins and whatever. Tried dipping my toes, like you say.
Yeah.
But this is it's not my first crypto project. I also have an investor role in a Danish trading startup called Kyro Invest. Soon to change names.
What's it called?
Well, in Danish you call it Kyro Invest.
How do you spell that?
CYROINVEST.
Okay, so I would read that as an American, I would see that and I would say Cyro Invest. Okay, good to know. So you've been
the name is gonna change soon. We're ready with a full rebranding. That's not public yet. That is also one of the thoughts that we have to change names because it's not working to go international. Because right now we just have Danish customers.
I see. Okay, so you've been doing e-commerce and fintech stuff for a long time, and then crypto specifically for the past like 3 years or so. And now
Yeah.
you're kind of getting into the decentralized finance side of it. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Awesome. And what about you, Mike? I know you're kind of I've seen you out here in DeFi and these servers for a long time.
Yeah, so for the e-commerce part, I come from a background that's self-taught. I was kicked out of the school. I was too bored. So I'm self-taught. So I made my first with a buddy. We made our first e-commerce store back in 2010, 2011, where we kind of like organically kind of like got the hold of what's everything. I made my first affiliate link back in 2001 when Trade Doubler entered Denmark. So
Wow.
kind of like been into homepages, websites, stuff like that for many years. But the first commercial store we made was selling piercings online. We did that for like a year until I wanted to move into that. Was like a hobby project and doing I did besides my job. And I wanted to move full time into working with digital marketing, so we handed it over to a competitor, and I started working here as we stated in the beginning. Consulted with multiple customers, and also it was my first office computer in there, an Alienware computer where I first discovered crypto and had like, oh, this is amazing. I didn't thought anything of having it traded or stuff like that. I just saw that okay, the price is $19, something like that. I can mine it and have like free money. So it took me like 14 days or something like that to mine my first Bitcoin, and I thought that wasn't worth it. Screw this. And then 2014 came along, and I was like, what am I doing? But I was doing my whole entrepreneurial journey there, and it wasn't until 2017 where I kind of like with the whole emergence of ETH and smart contracts, and really into like what's happening in this space. But then COVID came, and like so many others, I really had the time to like deep dive into the space, and that's where I stumbled upon the service and like had my my run in various projects. Always on the investor side, but like God knows how many founders and team members have gotten an direct message from me trying to give advice for free, and like, oh, this is nice, and like as I mentioned with Danny, like I was one of the first in the MDB server, and he had a pretty much fanboy message in his team from me because I could see what he was trying to do from the get-go.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's like my story in DeFi.
That's awesome that you were one of the first ones in the MDB server. I remember when Austin Clark pulled me into MDB. He's like, dude, you have to get in here. And yeah, so you beat me there. So that's really interesting and cool that we have that crossover. And also awesome that you've been doing e-commerce for so long. If you go to their white paper, read their bios. Really, really cool, interesting guys here. Definitely some of the most interesting people that I've interviewed on my channel to date. So, all right, now that's you've shown that you guys have knowledge and history and competency in this space you are entering. What do you guys think? Well, I guess, is there anything that I missed? I know you guys wanted to also talk about like the Lemono card linked app. right? So do you want to explain what the card-linked Lemono app is?
Yeah, so that's basically a technology where we want to take your physical payment card, add it to the card link app that we're going to provide, where we can match your purchases with our partners, so you get cashback on your day-to-day purchases with your card. That could also be like you like Netflix subscription, stuff like that, that you also use your card to. It's only the mind that sets the boundaries for how far we can take this with the carding technology. We're going to partner with established partners for have like a global coverage or regional at least, so we don't have like, oh, you can get a cashback on 2 croissants from the local bakery. So
Yeah.
so we're going when we but as we state in all of our material, we want to do everything right from the beginning. So our main focus is to get the browser extensions to be sustainable and as good as it can be for having like a full-time focus, and then we'll move on to having like the physical store and the card linked app get going from there.
Very cool. So you're gonna have a smartphone app for iOS and Android, and you are going to link that with a credit card linking service, and that's credit card, debit card, people's daily form of payment that they use to go shopping with. And that app will say, hey, these are the partners in the area that you're in right now. And if you go shop with these partners with your regular credit cards or however you normally pay for it, you can do it through our card linked app, and you will get the same benefits that they would get when they would be shopping online, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so that's pretty sweet. So, and you're not just looking for like small one-off partners here and there, like, you know, your local bakery where you might buy a croissant, but like coalitions of businesses and things like that at the regional and larger levels where it would be like retail, like chain stores and things that you would find in most cities.
Exactly. And that's why it's important for us to have like a negotiation power and can say like, hey, we have 50,000 users on this extension already. We are on trajectory to make this kind of growth. We have some bargaining power coming into that physical world when we are successfully in the online.
Awesome. And is there any cost for these businesses to partner with you and to offer this?
It's a no cure no pay service for the B2B part of the business.
What is it? What could you say that again?
No cure no pay. So like if we aren't referring any customers to you, you aren't paying us anything.
I see. Okay. So basically the business owners only pay a small commission fee when you generate an order for them through your referrals. Yeah. So that's awesome. So if businesses want to offer this, they basically can just partner. They don't have to pay or anything like that. It's just a commission type deal you set up, performance based. That's really nice.
And just if there should be anyone with connections out there, you can, if you have a huge inventory list, like if you have like the same like I don't know, Sears or some major if you have like Amazon, if you're just making a deal of 1%, you would basically take all of the market where there isn't any commission. So there's kind of like a first mover advantage to this as well.
Now, would it be safe to say that those businesses that partner with you would get exposure not only to direct sales, commission based through you guys? You obviously generate additional orders for those businesses, but would it be safe to say that they would appear somewhere on your website, your browser app, your discount code websites that you acquire, your phone app, they would appear there and get exposure from your ever-growing user base. Would that be correct?
Yeah, exactly. So it would both be you will be listed in the office section where you can scroll through categories like that, and also as mentioned early on, if there the related products listing. So if you're looking at a shoe and one of our partners has that shoe, and we are and that partner provides us with a feed where we can see that that's the same product, we'll also refer directly to the partner instead of the current one.
All right, so they will have the privilege of being prioritized in terms of how you guys offer up discounts and offers to your user base. So they'll yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Do you have a user acquisition rate in mind? Do you have like goals for how many users you'll have at certain milestones that you're targeting?
I mean, we definitely do. To take the big one, you can see it in a roadmap, but take the big one, it's we're aiming for Q1 24, where we're about 20 to 25,000 users. Also, of course, that's what we break even. I'm sorry. Of course, it depends on how our users act and shop and so on. And then we've listed the what do you call it? Delmål.
Milestones.
Milestones up until that. Like you shown in the roadmap here.
Yeah, so it will basically it's kind of like our native language talking about user acquisition. So like this will be quite familiar with business owners, but like to explain it to a normal user, we as a marketer looks into how much revenue can we anticipate coming from a user, either on a monthly basis, quarterly, or a yearly basis. That's depending on how much free liquidity we have to pay for the user. But like if we can see that okay, each user is gaining us in a commission of like $4 each month, we get on revenue a profit from having a user of $4 each month or quarter. Then we will be able to pay $4 to acquire those users and break even point after that month or that quarter, where we have recoup that $4, and then we can go on and buy a new user. So that's like the paid strategy, but that's on top of all the commercial sites that we own.
So you're basically going to look for a 1 month break even or better on new user acquisition costs. So if you acquire a user for $5 and you make $5 from their purchases in a month or something, then you're willing to spend up to $5 to acquire that user, and then everything after that's basically profit on an existing user.
And just to make exactly, and just to tap a bit into the more advanced strategy, we would also be looking at which part of our users does the highest amount of spending, so we can target and take that data set and use it in our marketing to target as the same lookalike audience. So we're not, you can get cheap user acquisitions that only gains us like $1 in revenue a month, but we can also extract the users that gains us like $100 in revenue a month and extrapolate that audience into lookalike audiences, for example, on Meta and Instagram to advertise, and then we will have we would those acquisitions would cost us more, but we will also gain exponentially more from that user after we recoup the investment.
Yeah, and also just the lifetime value is gonna obviously extend as we go along. So in the beginning, we cannot say, if we've been live for 2 months, we can't say, well, over a year, these users, so the further we get in this plan, the hopefully the more we can also pay for new customers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Users.
Now to acquire those users, you said later on when you have more data about your user base, you'll be able to more effectively target your best converting demographics and sectors, and be able to put more ad spend and marketing budget towards those sectors to get more of the highly converting demographics. But with that being said, I noticed here in the white paper you're marketing the Operation 300 section. What is your go-to-market strategy here? How are you planning to hit all of those? How are you planning to acquire all those users so that way you have, like, by the end of 2024, 75,000 users, I think it was.
Yeah. So Operation 300 is named after the 300 movie, but the same strategy is also present in how we are doing marketing. We don't want to have one huge influencer push this out to their audience one time. We want to have 300 different micro influencers push this out to their network. So you would, as an user, see this multiple times over the course of a week or a month. So you're like, okay, this Lemono thing is everywhere. What is it? Because you have to get their attention, you really need to put the word out there. So we want to establish ourselves with that influencer strategy, where we, of course, will obtain a massive user following, but it will also enable us to retarget all those interested users that we haven't been able to convert into users afterwards. So we are that's just to have like a kickoff to set this whole thing on fire, that we want to have as much data as possible as the fastest. And that would be through an influencer strategy like 300.
I like it. I like the 300 Spartan analogy for your micro influencer strategy. And I also like diversification as a DeFi guy and crypto stock and all that stuff. Diversification is always good, especially in terms of different strategies. Because like you have here, having one big influencer reach a couple of million users, if it has little to no effect, like, that's a big hit to take. Versus if you have 300 influencers and each reach their user base, you have a much better chance of having success. Even if some of those influencers don't get the user acquisitions that you're looking for, you've got 300 of these Spartans still in the fight. And I actually like that as a content creator. Everybody who creates a piece of content about this, that piece of content's like, it's out there forever, basically. It's evergreen. Yeah. It's going to be there in somebody searches for Lemono. If you have 300 different influencers creating content about Lemono's going to be popping up all over the place in SEO. I like that. By the way, I'm having like an existential crisis here. Am I one of the 300?
We'll see.
Am I like, what is happening right now?
You're the spearhead.
I feel it's like Inception, or like I'm like watching something, like watching myself from third person right now. Just like, what is happening? That's interesting. So I just had an existential crisis right now, and I'm the spearhead of the 300 apparently. I hope I do well. And if you guys are planning to do this with every single influencer, I know I've put you guys through the ringer in terms of my due diligence process, the amount of time I have, that you have generously given to me to do my whole process thoroughly how I do. And I probably combined, you guys have probably spent 20 hours working with me at least at this point.
Loved every second.
Yeah,
of it.
we love it.
Well, I appreciate that. And are you planning on doing this every single day with a new influencer? Like, or I know not many influencers have the process I have, but
Not in terms of the pre-sale. We are definitely going quality over quantity. That's why we can make that time scheduling like we do with you. For the marketing part on the influencer side, we'll have an internal resource making sure that everything is established. Christian will have his to look at going forward with actual building the service and the product. So we won't have the time there, but we will have someone that's ensuring our best interest going into that strategy.
well, I picked up on a subtle implication there, and I wanted to say thanks for implying that I am quality over quantity. I appreciate that. So I like that strategy a lot. I deal with a lot of influencers. I have a vast network of other content creators and influencers, and I know the power of getting in to the right influencer circles and circuits, if you will, and having, like you said, wise counsel navigate you through who are fake influencers and who are real ones, who buy bots or whatever for their subscribers versus who actually has a real community with real users. And no, I think that's really smart, because I have sadly seen a lot of marketing guys new out here trying to enter the DeFi space, and they get ripped off essentially by paying for somebody who has 100,000 completely fake subscribers, and then like, sorry, you just spent 15 grand or something and it's gone. Like, it's gone. Like, no, I think that's really smart. So you guys obviously know what you're doing or have been counseling with people who know what they're doing. In my opinion.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. We think so as well.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. So I think that's a great marketing strategy, in my opinion, for this space that I live and breathe. And I think that's the best way to enter into this market, honestly, is through the right micro influencers, if you will. And then once you have that base, then targeting the major influencers that cost a fortune.
Yeah.
That makes sense then, because when then a whole bunch of people might hear about it, but they'll go and Google it, and they'll see all the content out there that exists on Lemono already. And I think that's a great strategy. Also, you guys are currently putting out educational content yourselves. Is that right?
Yeah, so we've just uploaded a series with Christian where it's going to be included in our official links and in the white paper. But I think half of the videos is already on YouTube, and the rest, when this video is up, the rest will be, where it's a playlist that is, I think it's called Everything You Need to Know from A to Z about Lemono, where you get the full extensive overview of the concept and the service, and how are we going to the monetization strategy and the acquisitions, everything you need to know.
Awesome. And I watched the videos you have so far, as well as the ones you are going to be posting soon. And I think that kind of educational content is extremely valuable and useful for new users and people interested in how all this works. And the production quality is extremely high. So, like you're seeing, if you're watching my screen, I am playing a video in the background of Christian breaking down what Lemono is and how it works from the user, and it's just excellent. I don't know. Do you guys have like a whole production team in your conglomerate of businesses there?
Yeah, so we have, like, in our agency, we have a content department at our service that we're able to hire. So, and we're both pretty. We want the all the small details right, and the aesthetics, and that's the videos you were talking about.
Yes, and I've watched these all multiple times. They are great bite-sized chunks, so it's very approachable and digestible this video people will watch when they like it and they want to know everything about your business plan, right? So that's what this long form interview does, where I do a whole bunch of research to uncover everything that someone might want to know about how your business operates and how valid your business is. Is it even a real business and everything? By the time they finish this video, they'll know you guys well enough to realize, like, you guys aren't hired actors. You guys aren't fake aliases like we see out here sometimes. You're very real people. You have sent me so much documentation and company registration documents. I have basically corresponded with your lawyers even. Like, you guys have been so forthcoming with your verification and validation of your businesses and everything you're doing. And that's refreshing to me in this space when 70 to 80% of the people that approach me to make content about their projects or to even just come onto my channel to get interviewed like this, 70 to 80% of them are scammers that I filter out through my process. And you guys are a breath of fresh air because you're like, what documents do you want to see? You want to talk to my lawyer? Here's this, that. And I'm just like, oh, wow. Like, thanks. You guys saved me at least 10 hours by doing that, by the way. I really appreciate it. So, but this educational content is so valuable, where Christian is in bite-sized chunks, 1 to 2 minutes, just like, this is how this works. This is how it compares to honey.com. And this is how it works from the web browser user experience. And this is how we're going to monetize everything and this and that. So check out these videos, you guys. Their channel, what is your
Get Lemono.
It's
YouTube.
Get Lemono.
Yeah.
Okay. So Get Lemono, and let me just pull up. Yeah, so youtube.com/get GET Lemono LEMONO. You find them on YouTube, and this is very easy to share. When people have a question, you can just be like, watch this video, you'll understand it. And then you also got a very thorough white paper as well. So everybody check out their educational materials. That's always a good sign when you put a lot of effort into that stuff. All right, so right off the, I think that's most of the questions I have about your business plan. I've got some further due diligence questions. Then we can wrap this interview up. But before we do you have any partnerships currently? And if so, can you explain how those current partnerships benefit Lemono?
So we already got approved for one of the major networks in the US. And right now we're waiting on for next month. We're going live with the demo. Well, not live, but we have the demo for the extension. And basically we're ready to actually, how do you say it?
Just showcase
showcase the whole thing. And then
we're going to
get the partnerships going.
Yeah. It's kind of like you have to have like the product to be shown before you can actually go out and approach these companies. We have our track record as well, so that helps us. We have Alan on board that kind of like he just needs to make one call and we're in the door. But we all need to have something to showcase to those companies.
And
so
Alan
we have like
is the other founder, or is he an advisor?
He's an advisor, but on board of the team.
Okay, and this is Alan here from Bankly.dk, and you guys all have extensive business experience. So everybody, check these guys out on LinkedIn too. Like you guys have quite the acumen in the e-commerce and tech scene. So that's a good sign. And then Alan, you said, can basically get you in the door anywhere you need to with one call.
Yeah. He's especially in the Nordics region. He's kind of like their guru in the networks because he's been a crucial part of the whole financial space within affiliate here in the Nordics.
Nice, awesome. So I guess So who are your partners exactly? Where did you say your current partners that you're navigating right now?
Yeah, so it's awin.com. That's where we are approved right now. We don't have any we don't have a plug to put it into. We are approved on their platform just to showcase that this is possible.
Okay.
Of course, we have our competitors, but just to prove for ourselves. When we get the prototype ready to rock, we'll start onboarding actual partners to it.
So
And just
your first proof of concept partnership that is a1.com.
Awin.
Awin.com. Okay. And they're an affiliate network, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And does that mean that they offer access to multiple companies that do affiliate stuff?
Yeah. So they're a compliance team went over our application like last week, and we got approved within 2 days, I think.
Nice. And I know how that goes too, because I've worked with some affiliate networks partners in the past, and some of them, they really look into, like, you have to do video calls with an account manager, and they verify you're not some black hat hacker kind of thing. They like you got like a real company, real website, real app. So I kind of am familiar with that process a little bit. So that's great. So you already have one of those that should be probably done in the next week or two, you think?
And it's already done. For us to go out to the actual e-commerce stores, we have to have more in hand, and that will be the prototype that we will approach them with. We'll start off in the small ones, the ones that we know we would be able to approach for a dialogue if they didn't approve us right off the bat. When we get the official, when we are into the beta version of the extension, we'll approach the bigger partners.
Okay. Now, with the timeline for the extension, as a user, I guess I'm most concerned about when can I start using the browser extension to start stacking up Lemono coins and getting some discounts on stuff I might buy online.
So July is the demo. Alpha is going out in August. September is the beta, and then that's for the pre-sale users. All this up until then, and then October we're aiming for the public launch for everybody.
Yeah.
So you also get access earlier. That's also a benefit from getting in early on the pre-sale.
Awesome. So if you get in on the pre-sale, you get that Founders Edition NFT that gets you the max amount of cashback rewards forever, for the lifetime of the company and the NFT. And those people will also gain early access in September to the beta version of Lemono extension. They'll be able to start earning that cash back, those Lemono tokens, getting those discounts. And then in October, the public official launch of the browser extension goes live. And also, okay, we know that September beta for the beta launch for the pre-salers for the extension starts. And then in October, everybody in the world essentially will be able to use the browser extension to get deals and cash back. Now, the token itself, Lemono, when is that actually launching on Arbitrum?
That's launching. That's depending on the pre-sale, because there will be some period after the pre-sale for it to airdrop. But that if it isn't in June, it will be first thing in July.
Okay, so probably within 1 to 2 months. So you're looking at June this month, potentially, based on the pre-sale, for when you guys are going to launch the token publicly. Longest term situation, we might be looking early first week or two of July if things get delayed because of pre-sale stuff, but most likely June, right?
Yeah, most likely June.
Awesome. All right, so if I understand this correctly, when exactly is that pre-sale going to start?
You will find out if you're in our Discord.
All right,
We'll
all right,
find
all
out
right.
within the week.
Yeah.
All right, so within the week, we'll find out when the pre-sale starts. It's probably going to be very soon.
Yeah.
And if you participate in that pre-sale, you get the Founders Edition OG Lemono NFT with 100% cashback rewards for life on anything that you do out here with that's partnered with you guys. And then that's how the pre-sale will go. After the pre-sale, you're doing the public launch on Arbitrum, on the Uniswap DEX, most likely. End of June, probably middle, end of June, and potentially public launch might get pushed back a week or two into July. So that's the timeline we're looking at here. If you guys are just watching this now, if you're watching this back, this is obviously history. But all right, so good to know how that's going to roll out. And then come September, I'm going to have the pre-sale NFT, most likely, and I will be able to start using the browser extension in the beta version in September. And then in October, everybody else in the world can start using the browser extension when you do the public launch. And then in November, you're anticipating 10,000 Lemono users. Is that right?
Yeah, because the line right down below, that's the important part of that one.
Black Friday campaign.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's, we want to be ready to have all these small details worked out. Of course, we are totally honest. There will be some small hiccups, but we want them gone by the end of October to really hit hard when we're entering the Black Friday season and also the Christmas season.
Awesome.
Shopping season. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, speaking of Black Friday, one giant e-commerce company that I use and my family uses for just about everything because of the shipping, the return policies, and customer service is Amazon, right?
Yeah.
So I use Amazon because I've got an Amazon credit card that gets me like 5 to 10% cash back if I'm shopping on Amazon. And I get like same day or 1 or 2 day shipping, even way out here in the middle of nowhere. Plus, I have this awesome return policy. So I love using Amazon personally. Is there any possibility? I know they're like a major, huge fish or whale in this space. Is there any way that you would be able to partner with them at some point where I could potentially get discounts or Lemono tokens just from doing my Amazon shopping?
Yeah. So the thing is, that's the top of our wish list to onboard. We have a strategy in place where we can onboard them right away. If we acquire said headphone review site, we would be able to navigate with their terms of service, and we would be able to use that affiliate link onto our Lemono service. But that would be us trying to kind of like manipulate the system to go around it. And if we get the ban hammer from Amazon, we're out of business in terms of having Amazon on board. So we want to do it the right way. Yeah. When we can show actual growth numbers to their affiliate managers and people that sits on their side, and show like, okay, this is going to be huge. You already have an affiliate program. We wouldn't necessarily have the same. It could be the actual case that we get the exact same numbers, but we want to approach them in the right manner to have them approve our business model, and then from there on you'll be able to use Amazon.
Do you have a target amount of users? So do you have a user goal that you want to have in place before you approach them?
Yeah, I think 10,000 would be like that. That's where the dialogue starts. And as mentioned earlier on, we come from a more traditional business, so we're always super conservative in our numbers. That said, number could, with the Operation 300 marketing campaign, that could easily be 20,000-30,000 in November.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know I'm gonna use this, and I know my core DeFi community members. I'm friends personally with a lot of people in my community. Once they hear about this and they understand what it is, they'll probably all be using this, because why not? You're stacking
exactly right
free crypto for shopping online.
Shopping anyway, right?
Yeah. And I'm trying to get as many tokens as possible for things that I think could appreciate in value. Now speaking of that, real quick, what do you how much are you guys going to be pumping back into the buybacks and adding to the liquidity?
Yeah, in terms of
like your revenue stream. So if you guys are making X amount of revenue or profit, I don't know, each month, for instance, how much of that would you put back into supporting the price and liquidity depth of the Lemono token and liquidity pool?
So either being buybacks or liquidity add-ons, that would always be at least half of all our company revenue. That's kind of like a main thing, and that's for the user service part, because if our community isn't successful, we aren't, and that's where the interests are totally aligned. Like we don't have our expenses backed off the token price, because that would create an unhealthy sell pressure. That's taken off the table. But if we don't have any users, we don't have any revenue either. So that's like total alignment of interest.
Amazing. So half your revenue right off the top is just going right back into the Lemono token.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So that's
one half.
Sorry, that's only for the user service. The commercial sites and all the affiliate revenues from there, like we deduct the maintenance cost, but that's like going 100% into the protocol.
Yeah, just take the expenses out, and it's going to be pumping. We're aiming for about 25,000 monthly protocol buybacks in September.
Yeah, from
this year, from the acquisitions in itself. So that's what we talk about. It's like right from the get-go, it's it's going to start. I don't want to say pumping money in, but like doing the protocol buybacks.
The whole ecosystem.
That's wild. Because if you're doing half of your revenue, like half of it's going to, like, say half of your, just on the user revenue side, so like your user commissions, half of that's essentially, generally, half of that's going to go to users as rewards, maybe a little more because of the tier system of the NFTs and stuff, and the OGs and stuff like that. But the other half is going as revenue to you guys, your company, and that revenue is going right back into the token itself, Lemono token, liquidity and buybacks. And like, if that's just like, let's say it's even 50-50, 50 going to users in Lemono rewards, 50% going to buybacks and liquidity for Lemono token. Let's just say right off the bat, that just can't, if every single person sold every single token they ever earned right there, the price would potentially stay the same, because you would be supporting it the same amount that is getting paid out. Now, this is hypothetical in my head. I'm making guesses. I am gaming this out. Then if you've got your B2B side, and you guys are making additional revenue streams from multiple different sources, and then you're taking portions of that and adding that to buybacks and burns additionally, then like you're saying, that could pump up the price and force the appreciation above and beyond the rewards that are getting paid out, even assuming all those rewards are just getting instantly sold for something else. Like the revenue you're putting to support it's going to be above and beyond that potential sell pressure. So the price should ideally be increasing over time, assuming your business operations are functioning. And with your liquidity strategy, 10% of your pre-sales going to liquidity. So the liquidity at first, especially if you're keeping 5x on average in the treasury for business expenses and potentially to back the liquidity, then you're going to have at first a shallower liquidity pool, which means you'll have more price volatility, which means you'll have more potential for the price to go up with the increased hype and demand as you launch. And then as you add liquidity and you buy that token back, then you're going to be deepening the liquidity pool as well as increasing the token price more and more over time. And as you do that and add to the liquidity pool and deepen the liquidity pool month after month after month, the price becomes more stable and robust. So less volatile, less price fluctuations because of the increased liquidity. So if you get in early, and I'm not saying to get in or do anything like this, you guys make your own decisions, right? Make your own financial decisions. But like if I bought some Lemono tokens, or I've been stacking them right from the beginning, I'll probably have more upside when the liquidity pool is shallower and you guys are launching. And the first few months, I might have more upside than if the liquidity pool gets massively deep. Say you guys get to like $1 million in liquidity in that pool, then like somebody buys or sells $1,000 or something, and you might see like a 0.1% change or whatever. Like, so that's interesting. So I'm seeing the chart. Ideally, it would have some kind of like exponential, but then it would kind of like level out, kind of up and to the right. If I were to guess, if you guys execute your business plan as you've laid it out here.
Yep. Yeah, that's essentially what we are trying to figure out and guessing for ourselves.
Well, I think that's sound tokenomics, especially with having actual real world revenue streams and how much you are allocating to go back into supporting the token, which is quite a lot. All right, now I've got to know, where does the name Lemono come from?
I mean, it's very corny. So it started with of course the full tagline, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade, and basically it just came from the thought that it had to be fruitful. And I don't know about you, Alex, but I don't like that I have to pay for things. So if I could pay a little less, that would be nice. So that's basically it.
Yeah. I also don't like that I have to pay for things either. However, as we know, there's no utopian type society where things are just free for everybody. And I also don't think with the AI revolution, we are going to see that kind of thing. I, for one, accept our AI overlords and whatever they choose to do with the human race. So remember that, AI guys, if you are listening. Anyway, you guys, for anybody who understands that joke, you know what I'm saying. And so, all right, cool. So when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And it's basically, you're paying for stuff anyway. Buying things and spending money to get the things you want can, be a pain sometimes. However, you can make lemonade out of that situation by getting paid back something every time you do it. And I love that. And like I said earlier, kind of like the tagline I made to help me remember your like business's value proposition from a user experience is get rich from shopping. That's what I'm going to try to do, is like we talked about with like the potential price appreciation model with your revenue streams. If I'm stacking Lemono tokens just from shopping, stuff I'm doing something kind of painful that I have to do anyway to get the things I need to live and enjoy my life, then if I could potentially get rich from that, relatively speaking, and I stack up a bunch of Lemono tokens over 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and if you guys go from 1 cent or whatever to a couple dollars, then I'm going to be very happy with that. So I hope you guys wildly succeed, because I'm getting in on this. I'm going to use your technology, and I know a bunch of people in my community will too, and I want us all to win and be incredibly prosperous and abundant. So this is really cool, man.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Nice to have you on board.
All right, now I want to reiterate one more time. I want you guys to, what do you think is the best way for participants like me to make the most amount of money with Lemono if I am already deciding I'm going to believe in you guys and your business model and I want to be a part of it? What do you guys think would be the best strategy for me to maximize the amount of money that I could make, assuming you guys knock this out of the park and execute on your business plan?
I mean, okay, so it's very simple. I'll cut it out. Join the Discord ASAP. read the information that's going to come within the next couple of days, within the week, about the pre-sale, get in on the pre-sale. That's it.
Because that gains you the legacy NFT that enables you to have a double up on your cashback rate. So if you're over the course of 2 to 3 years, go shopping with our service, with the Lemono service, you will actually gain twice the amount of tokens if you participated in the pre-sale. Where that will be the only time in history, now I said it, that the legacy NFTs will be available for pre-sales.
Yeah.
They will be, however, tradable peer-to-peer on a secondary NFT marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the availability will be limited to those set numbers.
We will not make more.
And no more.
Now, do I have to buy a minimum amount of Lemono tokens in the pre-sale to get one of those Founders Edition NFTs?
Yeah, so they will come in 2 pairs. There will come a sapling NFT and a lemon tree NFT that will give set 100%. The actual numbers isn't decided yet, but that will all be a part of the pre-sale information.
Okay, so you guys will have a minimum to get either a sapling Founders Edition pre-sale NFT and a lemon tree Founders Edition pre-sale NFT.
Yeah.
Will the sapling and the lemon tree both have the same benefits and rewards?
No, so the sapling will have a slightly lesser percentages than the lemon tree, but they will all be for life and be a part of like you own it.
Okay, so based on if you get the sapling or the lemon tree, Founders Edition pre-sale NFTs based on how many Lemono tokens you buy at the fair launch price, but during the pre-sale, then you will get airdropped. Will it be an airdrop to your wallet then when you guys mint after the pre-sale?
That's the only technical question I think I've come to short to. We had something like that.
We'll figure it out. It'll be in the Discord.
It will be in the Discord,
Okay.
but that's something we will go through with the developers.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you'll probably go through the smart contract for the pre-sale and see who minted above those thresholds, and then mint those NFTs directly to their wallets.
That would be the most logical way to go around, but sometimes developers have a tendency to not think that's the right way to go, and sometimes they're right. So
okay. Also, will these stack? So if I've got, like, let's say I stake X amount of my Lemono tokens after the public launch, and I've got a lemon tree NFT that gives me 100% cash back rate, could I stake a bunch of tokens and get the large lemon buyers club bonus on top of that? Would I get an additional 50% on top of my 100% already?
No, but that would be nice for the users if that was a part, but then we'll lose money. It will be the highest amount that will be the active.
Okay, so the highest amount of cash back rate is going to be 100%. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, if I have a sapling, and I'm just going to guess, let me throw out a number. Say a sapling gets you 80 or 90% cash back rate. If I staked on top of that, would that bring me up then to 100%?
Unfortunately, no. That's not the part of the current strategy.
All right, good. So I want everybody to understand that the rewards, bonuses you get from staking to get to the different tiers of the Lemon Buyers Club, they don't stack. The benefits don't stack onto the pre-sale NFT cashback reward rates. So that's good to know. And so the best way for people to make the most money with Lemono is to get into the pre-sale and get the Lemon Tree pre-sale NFT that gets 100% lifetime cashback reward rate. And then basically shop Lemono and buy tokens in the pre-sale, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Good to know. So I've got my strategy now. Thanks for helping me figure that out.
Smart.
Now, all right. I've got some questions I want to run through due diligence wise about the team and everything like that. So have you guys, either of you, worked on any other DeFi or crypto projects before?
So the only thing was I was a part of a group of individuals that put together, like in the crazy race of the bull run, something called APU, just full currency. I wasn't a part of the team, but I helped them and I tried to help them organize some things. Uh, but you know, it was a pile of wild dudes. So I haven't been officially a part of a team, but I helped them. But no, not necessarily a part of a team, a part of a project. Only with, like said, they were the ones that responded to my messages. So I'm like, hey, I know what you should do. Try to do this, try to do that. But
Yeah.
but the thing is, for it to work, they actually need to do the things also. So
Right.
most an advisor, I would say.
Okay. What about you, Christian?
I just have my role in the other trading crypto company. That is my only experience company wise.
Okay, and that's kind of like a more centralized trading fund for crypto, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, who else is on the core team, and from what countries is everybody from?
So everybody's from here, Copenhagen, Denmark, Northern Europe. Born and raised here. It's right now. It's me, Christian, Michael, and Alan, who's the advisor you see on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the what do you call it? The central.
Yeah.
Where
all the executive decisions is.
Yeah.
And we're ongoing. We have like a job post out for a community / social media manager.
Yeah.
And we'll also have a project lead.
Manager.
Yeah. So we're expanding the team as we go along.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then of course we'll have the external teams of that we already do, the Web3 developers, and also the.
Yeah. But that's not something that not a resource that's within the team.
No.
Okay.
Hard.
And in terms of, security and trust for who controls the funds, at least when they're on the blockchain and the wallets or the smart contract itself, for the people who control those assets on the blockchain, are they fully doxed, or like you guys, or KYC'd or anything like that?
Yeah, so we're looking into it. Will definitely be the three of us on the multisig. We are currently looking for an external part. We asked you, you know that.
I know.
But someone with the same like trust, where we think that there is a match. We can't necessarily say if it would be an external part, but there is a multi-sig in place, and that's we are all fully doxed and live within like minutes of each other. So
Nice.
and we all know each other from years ago. So that will be how the funds on the blockchain will be, and for the whole off the chain, there will also be approvals in the what's it called, net bank.
Yeah,
online banking. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I think, for a business like this that is real world and also blockchain, you're going to have assets on ramping and off ramping from crypto wallets and exchanges into bank accounts.
Yeah.
Will those bank accounts be owned by the legal entity that is Lemono?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, good to know. Also, as for the KYC or the multi-sig question, I am flattered that you guys offered to, bring me on to your multi-sig to add that layer of trust for the wider community. I I would love to, but I always turn that down just because I want to keep a layer of separation between myself and the projects that I interview and analyze on my channel, so I can stay as objective as possible. Even if I'm wildly excited about your project, which I am, I think it's super cool. But I still, for my audience members, I want to make sure that they understand my conflicts of interest and everything like that. So and also that's that's a lot that goes into that. So I turned you guys down on that, not because I don't like you guys. I actually like you guys a lot. But just because of how I do business with my channel, I turned you down to keep as objective as possible. Also, I do have some people that I know that I trust out here that I'll put you in touch with that might be good candidates for that, and they offer that kind of thing. So I'll put you in touch with them if you'd like.
Yeah,
we'll love that.
Sure.
All right, cool. All right, now, how is the team compensated by the protocol?
Yeah, so it's important to say that it isn't compensated by the protocol. As stated earlier, we think that would be an unhealthy relationship, having our company expenses based upon selling tokens. So we're looking into being break even from the revenue streams rather fast. But we will of course be compensated in terms of salaries. The whole team will, everyone we employ, of obvious reasons and competitive reasons. We won't go into detail of how much, but I can assure you, and for you personally, Alex, I would show you every number you wanted to see.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's not an outrageous number at all.
No.
And you know, I don't have any problem with that. And you know, good talent does cost money. So I understand, you know, some skills and talents and experience and everything like that. Some human resources, as robotic as that sounds, some human resources, you know, command a higher price for a reason and everything like that. But I'm totally cool with that. So you guys will be running a traditional business with salaries for employees at your company.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good to me. And the team, you, just to make sure I understand this clearly, the team's not going to receive an amount of tokens as like equity in this or anything. Is that right?
No,
that's correct.
We are participating in the pre-sale on the same level as everyone else.
Okay, so you guys are going to be buying and selling this freely of your own volition in the free market, just like everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, when speaking in terms right now, or coming from my own IPO background, I need to state this. I think it's rather important. I know that it just came up, but we need to have there's an obvious conflict of interest if we know that there's set amount going into the buyback of the protocol and we own a token.
True.
So that would be, I think, that would be something that we need to discuss internally and just be upfront with.
Yeah.
That's something that came into my mind right now, that of course we're participating on the same level as everyone else, but Christian knows, okay, Amazon is a thing. We're going to announce it. Bye.
Right. Yeah. No,
yeah,
and I understand, like, people at the executive or director level of like public companies, and I'm not saying this is like a registered security or anything like that. I'm just giving an example from like me in the United States, how I've understood like public companies, like the SEC requires like a Schedule K or something like that to disclose when a executive or director level buys or sells stock of their own company. Now, I'm not saying that this is a public offering of any kind like that, or a security or whatever. It's not. I'm making the analogy here so people understand what those conflicts of interest might be in terms of like maybe an ethical standpoint. So you are saying that you guys are going to think about a responsible way to be able to buy and sell your own tokens without using like insider information and stuff like that.
Exactly.
We can get on the pre-sale, and then we'll have agreements.
Yeah, we won't sell any tokens before that set agreement is put in place, and that will of course be something that's if I can't even come up with a solution, but but that's the promise we make from here.
Okay, good to know. And I'll take your word for it, and we can all just kind of wait for the news and how you guys decide is the healthiest way for you guys to go about that. And I personally think, like, if you, I don't really have a problem with teams buying and selling their own tokens. Obviously, though, if you're about to pump the token and you do like a pump and dump kind of scheme or something like that, I'll have problems with that. But I don't think you guys would do that. I think you have a long-term business plan here, and I appreciate that you are going to think of a responsible and healthy way to do that. Maybe some kind of automated DCA strategy that can be set up ahead of time that just like auto buys your tokens.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Could be,
the easiest thing would just be having a restricted vesting period and open wallets, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I look forward to that, and I appreciate you guys having that discussion. All right, now, who developed your smart contracts, or who is developing your smart contracts?
So our developer isn't doxed, but is quite known within the space of being. He's quite what's it called?
Well, a good reputation.
Yeah, good reputation.
Okay.
So we're going to have our contract audited by Solidity.
Solid proof?
Yeah, solid proof. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything is going to be audited and ensured in the best place, best possible way.
All right, good to know. So you guys will have your smart contracts audited by Solid Proof. Do you have a timeline of when the smart contracts will be operational and audited?
No, that's something we will reveal everything. That's something a part of the preset information. I think we'll reveal.
All right, sounds good. And do you guys plan on having? I know we just had that multi-sig discussion. So on the smart contracts themselves and the wallet accounts that control the project funds, you guys do plan to have a multi-sig with Christian, Michael, and Alan, as well as potentially another community member, or something like that.
Yeah. Or an institution.
Okay. Yeah,
Institution,
right.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Now, all right. Do you guys have continuity plans in place? For example, would your project be able to survive if you or one of the core team members left or something were to happen to somebody?
Absolutely. If we wiped the board and we stepped onto the same bus, and that bus thought that it should go into the ocean, it's important for us to have built a sustainable model and a documented model that would allow us, like within the year, to be like self-sustaining, both in terms of the actual revenue part, but also for the team core members, like the project lead and persons like that, to have like SOPs for everything, standard operation procedures in place for like the most the parts that you just can't figure out yourself.
Great. All right. I love that. Standard operating procedures. And will you have standard operating procedures for transferring controlling portions of the multi-sig to a new member or something, if that were to happen, so that way, like, the funds, like, by the way, don't ever get on the same bus, you guys. All right. So
it's critical enough that we live within the same bomb space.
So maybe it does make sense to have at least somebody from a geographically different region, just for redundancy and all that. Also,
that's our main point.
Yeah, that will be stated within the actual legal entity that we assign personally. We haven't figured it out yet how to do it, but that's something our lawyer is on. So that's something that we already thought about.
Awesome. And have you guys looked into any kind of like legal trust or something to have a legal entity that holds like one of the seed phrases or a part of a seed phrase, and another legal company that holds a trust with the other part of the seed phrase for the members here for the controlling wallets on those multi-sigs, just in case there was like worst case calamity scenario, that those legal companies could make sure that those seed phrases get passed down to the next controlling owner of the company to ensure continued operations for everybody.
Due to having it like a tier 1 operational standard based upon our very geographical list, that would just be something that we could provide our lawyers with, two different law firms, and stated in our what's called vedtægter. We have like a the will of the company. It's called vedtægter.
I can't remember.
Two things. Let me look it up.
This is fascinating and it's highly educational. I love this.
Yeah. So that's something that every company needs to have, and it needs to be registered. What those
bylaws or articles of incorporation.
Bylaws, exactly, bylaws. Yeah. Don't know
why. I've written many of those myself, and I'm an entrepreneur too, and I've registered many companies and had to do articles of incorporation, bylaws, and articles of dissolution for filing my companies and my nonprofit. I run a nonprofit 501c3 charity, an animal rescue and animal sanctuary in Florida, and they were very strict about making sure the articles of incorporation and the bylaws, and especially the articles of dissolution, were like rock solid. And we had to work with legal firms and lawyers to get it all like approved to get the 501c3 status as a legal registered charitable organization that's tax exempt in the United States with the IRS. So like to get to the 501c3 status with the IRS, you have to like everything has to be perfectly done. And I totally understand what you're saying. What was the word again?
In Danish or English?
Danish.
Vedtægter.
Vedtægter.
Cool. Yeah, sure.
Just tell your lawyer that.
I'm Danish now. Awesome.
Yeah.
I read your company registration registry web pages and articles and some of your legal documents, filing documents in Danish, and I had to translate them to English. And I'm getting quite cultured doing this job, and I love it. So, all right.
That's awesome.
Good to know, you guys, that you guys are looking into incorporating that, including that into your articles of incorporation and bylaws. So, all right. Do you guys think your project would survive if this bear market continued for years longer?
Yeah.
Not really...
unless the global economy, like it was hit, but like you don't stop shopping online.
That's true.
You just don't shop as much as you used to. So I think we're not hit by any bull market or economical events. No.
Bear market would mean slower growth, I think.
Yeah, just in terms of the token value.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good to know. So you guys are actually pretty, I guess, detached from the price of the crypto markets. So the bear and bull market cycles, you guys are kind of recession proof, if you will, to an extent. From those markets, because you're a real revenue producing business.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. Now, what do you guys think personally? And each one of you guys can answer your own opinion. What do you guys think are the biggest risks to participants in your project?
Us not doing it. I mean, not doing our job, not executing like we plan to. I don't want to make guarantees because I'm a professional, I think.
So the risk is, of course, it being if you want to enter this, I would definitely say don't go into depths where you can't breathe, and you like It will be the token price primarily, but if the token price would tank and we will still do our job, then it's just a matter of time. Because like if you're selling the dollar and the cent, then it will just be quicker for us to recoup that earlier price level. With the if we manage to execute the strategy as well. So I think it should be both a combination of us not doing the job at all and be unable to acquire sites. The main thing could be if I can't really see where we are exposed, rather other than from a user side and a token investor, other than the actual token price.
Okay, so you think both of you guys kind of agree that the biggest risk to participants is that you guys, for whatever reason, don't execute properly on your business plan?
Yeah.
Okay, good, great answer. And that's why I always ask about your history, your experience, your track record as entrepreneurs. And you guys have, like I said earlier, one of the best, both you guys have some of the best business acumens that I've ever seen doing this job, interviewing entrepreneurs, which is very, very cool. So
Alex, I actually have one thing. Sorry to interrupt you. But just I don't see it as a risk, but Giant Honey owes patents that states that they have the patent in the US for automatically placing coupon codes and testing them from a browser extension. So like just to like flex that we're partnering up with Loris and stuff like that. We are looking into how we are operational in the US and making sure that there isn't like any exposure there. Just that I could see someone getting familiar with this and like will look like jackass. Sorry for not knowing that, but that's something that's already in consideration.
Yeah.
Awesome. So glad you thought about that. I say awesome because I didn't think of that question, and I should have. When I was analyzing your business plan, I should have asked, is there any intellectual property rights risks involved?
Yeah.
And you're saying Honey owns is it a US patent or a global international patent?
It's a US patent that for the extension to apply the codes automatically. We can also have the codes like copy copy to paste holder, and you can just copy them manually, and we would be able to show you which ones is most profitable for you to use. So it's just the automatic part. They have applied for the EU, Europe as well, but that didn't went through.
So there's ways around it.
Yeah, so I guess that was my next question is there a way to slightly modify the process to get around
100%. That's why you see competitors as well.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, if it made sense, would you ever consider, and if they even offer this, leasing their patent to do it similarly, if it made sense, money-wise?
We would.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Good to know. And thanks for bringing that up. That's, again, this is so educational for me and for anybody who watches this video when analyzing business plans, especially international global businesses. Excellent. So thanks for that. I had another question. I guess I guess I'll have to come back to that later if I can remember what I was gonna say. But that's you got my mind turning now. All right. So I want to now ask you guys, where do you guys see yourselves? I know you have a very detailed roadmap, but in your own words, where do you guys see this project and company in 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and even beyond? If you have envisioned, Mike, if you have envisioned that far, I know you're the visionary guy. So where do you guys think you'll be in those time increments?
You take the first year, Christian.
So 6 months ish break even, and from there it's I can't even remember, to be honest. It's just
It's late.
Sorry, it's 11:30
so yeah. Within, I think around the break even point is set to like the 9-month mark, and within the year we should start developing the mobile apps. But as mentioned, we want to have the business model of the extension fully in place before we move on to expansion. Now, the beautiful part, when you ask me, the visionary guy that stands up on top of the mountain and clearly sees everything, like we would like to own the space of the loyalty points and cashback rewards, both in terms of the online part, but also the offline. The offline part would require some muscles that we need to haul in from the online part, but I see that there is, within 3 years, there is Giant Honey, and right below Lemono is placed. I can't say within what distance, but we should definitely be top 2. And if we are there, there's lots of money being made. When we're speaking of 5 years, I can see this endeavor move into other spaces, not primarily a Lemono project, because I think that should own the space, its own category. But let's say we put that's why we call the company next thing on the block. Let's say we have tens of thousands of partners that knows that we bring customers, that knows our business model. When those said partners are up for it and the time is right, we could see ourselves put a payment provider on top of that, where we essentially remove the fiat part and go directly into, here you can pay with crypto and you can get your cashback rewards. And just have a full ecosystem built on top of that. Like I'm doing like in these exactly same offices right now with my other companies. Then that's my vision for Lemono, to outbranch and like having the whole ecosystem benefit from each other.
You see how that's our relationship. That's why we compliment each other. It's like, I look maybe 3 months ahead, Michael, it's far out, that's it's a great relationship, both personal and of course business.
And I know I agree with that, and I know I told you that in some of our private calls, that you guys complement each other's skill sets and personalities very well, where Michael's like the head in the sky visionary, sees like this wild big picture and like kind of how to get there, and then Christian, you are like the type A personality executive who just gets shit done, right? Yeah. Like, so, Michael dreams up this thing and then is like, hey, Chris, can you figure out how to get from this point to this point? Can you make it happen? And you just...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome. And I think how you guys set up your company is really a great idea. Like, Michael, you're the chairperson and founder, and Christian, you're founder and CEO. So chief executive. It perfectly. I think you guys set up those roles very well. Now I got a couple questions based on what you said real quick. So what are you guys concerned that Honey might attempt to go into the Web3 space and do rewards on the blockchain as well?
No, because they aren't born there. So that if you had asked me this question 20 years ago, when a certain person was still inside the company, last name Musk, then I would be a bit more tempting to go like, yeah, that could be. But no, that's not their main business. They aren't built. They're like born out of the Web 2.0 space. I could see them acquire something within the space, maybe. But that's a whole lot of talk.
Yeah, and I know once a company is that big, they're less agile, and
Exactly.
it'll be a hard pivot to do it right, and it exposes them to a crazy amount of liability when they're already doing really well. They might not want to rock that boat. So you guys have a little bit of a window here to sprint to this, I guess, untapped part of the market that nobody's doing yet. And if you do it well and you do it fast, you guys can, like you said, you're looking in 3 years to get second, to move up to second in terms of market ownership, where Honey's up here. Honey's numbers are crazy, by the way. And if you guys can get to second in 3 years, your numbers are going to be crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
And then you're saying 5 years, you're looking to have a full ecosystem. Do you think you'd ever overtake Honey?
Not needed, because I think that we will see, if our predictions are right and we're sitting in this space, then it will happen automatically.
Yeah, I think the adoption of Web3 is inevitable, and we're at the beginning of that S-curve. And if you guys are surfing that wave with this business model, you're going to be having a mass amount of user adoption and capital flowing into that wave. And you could totally surf right by them at some point. Like, that would be super cool. Especially if I'm sitting here stacking Lemono tokens, buying buying animal treats for my animals. Like, you know what I mean?
Can I just share a quick idea with you, Alex?
I would love to, please.
So, if anyone knows the founders of Brave, and they just put our name in the hat, when we gain massive adoption, I think that they want us to have a small discussion. And, when I get this phone, there's already pre-installed apps. So I'm not saying that would happen, but it could happen.
Interesting. So you heard the man. If anybody knows the founders of Brave, and I'm sure you'll be able to get in the door especially once this is rolling. But that discussion would be interesting to get this something built into, like, packaged into Brave itself. Interesting, because they have the Brave wallet already.
Yeah, and that would be a vital partner for us to have, like, the Web 3.0 technology built in, like when you wanted to mint and stuff like that. So
interesting. That would be wild. So, because Brave comes with a wallet already installed, and if they had a shopping discount and rewards app or extension built into Brave that pairs with that wallet, that would be insane user adoption. And that would be really cool. So I'll ask around. I know a lot of people out here, and some of them might know those guys or gals.
Let us get to 25,000 users, and then we'll definitely start the discussions ourselves.
Yeah. All right. So my question, I guess, if Honey goes crypto, you're not concerned? I also was thinking, are you ever going to, do you foresee yourselves overtaking Honey in terms of market share? And you said you're not concerned with that because you're not really trying to compete with them, because you guys really, like, even though you're in a similar space, your use case is so much different that it doesn't really matter, right? Is that an understanding?
That would be, in terms of time, I think that if we are betting on Web 3.0 and they aren't, and it's just a matter of time. And if it was to, I think personally in this space, there is room for like 5 players to have massive businesses. Yeah. So I'm not concerned at all.
All right. Good to know. Now, also another concern with people who might be investing out here and saying, I might want to load up on Lemono tokens to see what happens in the future. By the way, I am not offering any kind of investments here on my channel or anything like that. I am a publishing agency, and this is super cool entrepreneurial tech startup stuff. However, I do want to know if I'm sitting on a bunch of Lemono tokens, or I have these very potentially valuable NFTs, especially if I got myself a lemon tree during the pre-sale. Do you guys ever plan on going public or, selling at some point? If you guys get big enough, would you ever sell or go public? And if so, what would happen to people like me holding some blockchain assets?
So that's not something necessarily on our concern, because we think like this can be huge enough for us to have like a legacy. And also it's more like I haven't been this passionate about a project like in years, with all respect to my other companies, but like it's from I went from having it as a hobby to having like a professional, and that's just gets me super excited. So I'm excited to see the space, how we're moving, and if let's say a said company earlier stated wanted to acquire, that would be something like we stand on our principles, and we would like that would benefit 50-50 within the protocol.
Okay. Okay.
So that's also a promise from our side.
So you guys are looking to leave a legacy, and so you're not ruling it out though. Like you'd be open to it if the situation was right, and if did I understand that correctly? I want to make sure I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So if the opportunities make sense, you might capitalize on them, and then also you would share whatever benefits 50-50 essentially with the holders out here of the NFTs and the tokens in some way.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That sounds good to me. And I know there's no way to like legally enforce that, right? This is DeFi
No.
at the end of the day. So like we have to take your word for that. And you do seem like you guys are decent guys, in my opinion. Don't prove me wrong, right? I hope you prove me right on that gut feeling I've got with you guys. So I think like if you guys went public, you would kind of hopefully look out for your early supporters who
100%.
awesome.
I don't think we'll go public, but the acquisition part, that's definitely something it's not off the table, but it's more off the table than it's on, but still kind of like off on the table.
If it makes sense.
Yeah, if it makes sense.
Sure.
And that's for both us and the holders.
Yeah, like if I understand if somebody's like, here's $100 million, and then you guys are like, okay, all your NFTs are now worth $5,000. Here you go. Like, okay, like whatever.
Exactly.
I'm cool with that. Like, so cool. I'm glad you guys have kind of thought that through a little bit, and you're gonna look out for people, and if that were to happen, awesome. That's all I got essentially at this point. So,
Was that all?
That was it.
That was it. We've only been on this call for about 6 hours, you guys. So
We do 6 more.
I mean, I could go way deeper on this if we wanted to, but you know, I'm a man of brevity.
I believe you.
If you, I'll pull this up here so people can see where to find you. It's getlemono.com, and you can find them on Discord and Telegram and Twitter. All the links are at getlemono.com. I will put the links in the description of this video and in the comments. Do you guys have anything else that you want to tell the audience today before we wrap this up?
I mean, first of all, join the channels in the community and follow for the information. But second of all, like we talked about, just we're openly inviting people to share their opinions and feedback. We welcome it a lot because we know that we can't know everything. So if you have some valid feedback, please go ahead and share it with us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We don't want to enter the ocean with a leaking ship.
No.
And I respect that. So you guys are totally open to criticism and feedback that would help you guys make your business and project more robust.
Better.
Yeah, as long as it comes with an understanding that we can't be available 24/7 when we are building the product as well.
Yeah,
but definitely.
Awesome. And I will make a channel for you in my Discord server, discord.gg/YaBonks, YaBonks, and look in the projects category. There will be a hashtag Lemono channel. I'll have all the links there too. I'll post this video there, and you can find Mike and Chris in there as well. And if you ping them in there, they'll get around and eventually answer your questions there too. Yeah, so that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you probably know more about this project than 99% of the population, and I mean the DeFi population. Like, you are in the know at this point. So join their Discord server. Check them out on Telegram and Twitter, and find them at getlemono.com. Christian, Michael, thank you guys so much for all the time that you've worked with me putting this interview together. I've really enjoyed it.
No, we did too, and just thank you, Alex, for the time.
Yeah, a pleasure.
Yeah,
my pleasure. And audience, thank you for watching and supporting my channel. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to my channel so you can get more awesome content from entrepreneurs like Christian and like Michael and like YaBonks here. And check me out at discord.gg/YaBonks, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks, everyone.